Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another glorious episode of Jedi Talk. I am your host, Brad Hughes. Evan Truly, but before we get into this, welcome to the show. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Instagram at Jedi Talk Podcast. Please do that because I have some news coming in after I announce the council here. We don't have the full council. Tom's off gallivanting with his in-laws. Don't know what they're up to tonight. I saw him today when I went to go get the lightsaber that we'll talk about shortly. But I haven't looked forward to a podcast this much in a very, very long time because sitting right across from me is the man, the myth, the legend, Evan T. Boucher. Fresh off the Halcyon, less than a week off from the house, right? No. Yeah. You got off Saturday, right?
Saturday, yeah.
So you're almost a week off, 6 days off.
This time last week, I was like about to experience it, like the big thing. Like,
so introducing the man, the myth, legend. Eric said it, and you didn't say your thing.
That's okay.
Evan T. Boucher.
Hello there, and Tabui Te, my friend. You don't know that yet, but you will know Tabui Te. Yeah, you'll know that. It's not really that big. It's just a fun nerd phrase that I picked up from the Halcyon.
Nice.
And so it doesn't really matter, but they pronounce it Halcyon. They don't say on, Halcyon. They say Halcyon.
Halcyon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Falcon.
Like Han.
Like,
there's Leia, Leia.
I like that. I like
there's so many things
dialects.
in Star Wars. Like that.
I love that. I love that kind of stuff.
Most of the characters said Halcyon, but who cares?
So this episode is going to be, we're going to do one announcement, one piece of news that's huge right now.
That's really all there is, though. There's not a whole lot of news.
Not a ton of stuff to talk about. Yeah. And then I would like to do, maybe on the next episode, we'll do the thing. I'll bring it up on the next episode.
Right.
But
I was surprised you didn't go with a joke and say Tom's not here because he's off playing with his lightsaber.
He is playing with his lightsaber. But before we get into the lightsaber, I'll have an announcement to make. This is big news.
Huge.
I can't talk about huge. It's unbelievable.
Huge.
This is big news for the podcast. At least me is going to Star Wars Celebration. I can't say how and in what capacity yet, but stay tuned because it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of work to do, but I'm very, very excited. You know what it is.
Yeah.
You guys listening to the show are going to freak out when you find out what it is. Thank you for listening because you guys are the ones that made it possible for me to be able to do this in the first place. But once I get all my ducks in a row, I can announce the full announcement. But I can say I will be at Star Wars Celebration 2022 in Anaheim. I'm very excited. I know I was like, I'm not going because of masks, but I'm now going.
Things have changed.
Things have changed.
That's all you got to know.
Let's just say things have changed.
Yep.
So
in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. So, I truly am excited to go. I was always excited to go. Didn't think it would be possible because I have just a few weeks before I leave for Celebration. I have the Halcyon on May 2nd. But I'm going, and I can't wait, and I'm very excited. Details to come. But just so you guys know, I'm just gearing you up because I'm going to be talking about it a lot coming up. We're going to be talking a lot about Celebration coming up now for this. But I'm still trying to talk Tom into it. I'm still trying to talk you into it. But we'll see what happens. But I know I'm at least going. So
yeah. You and Tom have both been to Celebration, right?
Tom's never been.
Tom hasn't? I haven't.
Neither one of you have.
Can you imagine this avenue being Tom and my entry point to Celebration? If it happens, I want it to happen.
It's gonna be nuts. All you got to do
between the two vacations.
I'll even talk to Tom and see if maybe
I've had to buy,
you can just stay with us and not even split the hotel costs. So just try to save some cash.
I can't do that.
But we have to pay for it either way. You know what I mean? It's getting paid somehow. But
yeah,
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out because that's not cool.
I would personally rather do that than you not be there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did it for Alex. Alex was in a spot where he couldn't afford to go.
Yeah, but then you guys ate
time.
18 White Castle bags of cheeseburgers together.
That was fun.
Or whatever.
That was fun. And that's when I discovered Portillo's and Italian beef sandwiches too in Chicago.
Yeah.
I got to find my Chicago Celebration shirt. I love that shirt. I should have wore it today, but I'm wearing my History Hyena
I almost wore my Galactic Starcruiser shirt.
You should have.
It's in my bag. I didn't put it on.
All right, let's get into the news, and then before we talk about the Halcyon stuff, I'll do the spoiler, but we're not quite there yet. Today, big news. I shouldn't say fucking. I'll have to edit that out. 4:30. Remind me 4:30. Write that down.
4:30. Go ahead.
Finally, Cal Kestis's lightsaber released at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Disneyland. We've known it's here for a while. I was able to get my hands on one. So interesting thing about this one is we speculated that you would be able to connect two to them. We were correct about that.
Yep.
We were wrong about the color changing aspect. It's not color changing.
Which bothers me a little bit, but that doesn't stop me from buying it.
No,
it bothers me, but
like Tom said, the canonical the canonical color is blue.
Right, which is something I should care about because I'm known as like the one that's like too picky on canon.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's way better than the prototype. I hate the fact that it doesn't fit in the box without changing it, but
yeah, it's annoying.
That doesn't make me not want to buy it either. But yeah, I think it's probably as good as they could have done it. I love the Switch is like it is an actual Switch. It's not like on Rey's or Obi-Wan's or even Dooku's where just like they took us a part of the saber and cut a square into it and made it the Switch. Yeah. That's not how this should work. I like how it's an actual Switch.
I do too. Or even the friggin' Halcyon one.
Yeah, the Halcyon one is different than the one it is in canon. Yeah, because when you go to lightsaber training, it's not a spoiler, but like the switch for that lightsaber is that red button.
Yeah.
So it's like you designed the real one in lightsaber training to be a button. Why did you design the toy one to be different? Yeah. You should either make the real one match the toy or make the toy match the real one. You design both.
I agree 100%.
But I don't understand that. They've done that with Leia's now and Rey's now and Halcyon now. So
Rey's is the only one I will give them a little bit
just don't design it to switch sideways then in the movie. Design it to switch straight up and down.
Yeah, like but they don't. Again, they don't go, how is this toy going to work if we design... They design it for the movie, and it makes sense.
So then you got to reverse engineer it for your toy.
I agree. They should have, but that one is the most egregious one to me.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know...
They make a point to like show her hand and her thumb.
To be fair, in The Force Awakens, canonically, Finn presses the button.
Yep.
Which isn't canon at all, because we've seen how it activates every other time someone's used it. It's never pressed that button.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe he used the Force. I don't know. That would actually be a really cool...
Yeah. Because, I mean, with Darth Maul's, he has 2 knobs on his. And when you see Phantom Menace, he does not reach over and turn a knob, over and turn a knob.
He just kind of turns it.
He just holds it with his fist, and they just both turn on. So he's got to be using the Force.
Yeah. Yeah. Has to be.
And we've seen sabers, when they are, like, thrown out of somebody's hand, deactivate.
Yep.
Like in The Rise of Skywalker, when Palpatine, like, picks up Rey and Ben.
It's happened a lot. It happened in Force Awakens when they're fighting it. Remember,
yeah,
it goes
people,
into the
like,
snow?
lose their sabers while it's still turned on, but when it leaves their hand, it deactivates.
Why does it... I wish they would do in Star Wars, when someone loses a saber, they just grab it back.
Yeah, you could easily do that.
That would be so badass.
Yeah.
They should do that.
Well, they wanted to when Kylo had Anakin's in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And Rey grabs it from his hip.
I just rewatched Last Jedi the other day.
Me too. Well,
such a good
week
movie.
ago now.
It is so fantastic.
It's easily the best sequel.
Easily.
Because I didn't finish my thing like I said I was going to do. I didn't go Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Halcyon, Rise of Skywalker. I didn't get to Rise of Skywalker. But watching Force Awakens on one night and then the very next night watching Last Jedi, The Force Awakens is kind of boring, honestly. And The Last Jedi is so much better. Like,
I love Last Jedi, man.
The Force Awakens is boring in the same sense.
Are you wearing a Last Jedi shirt?
No, it's just Star Wars.
Oh.
But
I thought that was like the same shirt I had. I didn't know you had that one.
Force Awakens is boring in the same sense like A New Hope is boring. It feels that same way to me, where it's like they're both really slow in the beginning, really boring in the beginning. Like it takes a while.
I forgot that Rey that they like infiltrate the Death Star or the Starkiller base.
Yeah, she goes on like a side tangent when she breaks out of
What is she doing in there?
That's when Kylo takes her from Maz's palace, Maz's castle on Takodana. And he has her in restraints.
So long.
That's when she's in the interrogation room.
Gotcha. And she
breaks out.
And she's climbing down the thing.
Yeah, for some reason.
Why does she do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
And my biggest question is, how has no one ever asked this? In the very beginning, the first opening scene, how does the First Order even know Poe is on Jakku?
I'm sure they tracked him. I think it's in the comic books.
Where?
No, I think it's in the comic books. I think it's in the Poe Dameron comics.
Okay, I read that. I must just forgot.
I think it's in one of the last ones that they did for that. They kind of showed that he was headed to Jakku to find Lord Santeca.
That's a big question. It's just like,
well, I mean,
they're here. Like,
they would know who Lord Santeca is.
Yeah.
So they could be tracking Lord Santeca. They could be tracking. That establishing stuff doesn't bother me. Like, because I know
until now. That's been out for 7 years.
Well, they'll get to it eventually.
Yeah.
Like they'll get to it. So I'm not that worried about it. But I love Cal Saber. I'm glad it came in the same type of box all the other ones did. It is heavy as shit. It's like 6 pounds.
It is. It's Rey's is probably still the heaviest.
I don't think so. I think this one's heavier.
You need to get him.
I was going to weigh it in the video and I completely forgot to.
Kylo's is probably now 3rd. It's probably now Rey, Kylo.
Dooku's is heavy too.
Dooku's is heavy.
The Temple Guard one.
See, I wouldn't know that one because I don't have Temple Guard.
Have you played with it yet? Have you messed with it?
Like 30 seconds. Not
well,
much.
It's heavy when it's together. To be fair, separately it's not that bad. But
yeah.
I love the saber, man. I think the detail they did in it is fantastic.
Oh yeah. The fried end looks really good.
Perfect.
The end I always call the corn on the cob end. But
they couldn't have done it better.
No,
I really don't think they could have.
I don't think they could have.
One thing I love about it too is when you screw it on, excuse me, I'm drinking club soda. So
the like pattern in the rubber lines
up
as it should. If it didn't, I'd be like,
that
what
would
are we
annoy
doing?
me.
Yeah, same.
But
I don't know,
it
everybody.
lines up and it looks really, really good. So
they're knocking these sabers out of the park recently.
Yeah, they are.
The Halcyon one looks good, even though the switch is off. I'll forgive that. The box in that is beautiful. It's a black box.
The only one I think they missed the ball on a little bit was Leia's, but I think it's also skewed in the movie.
Yeah,
because I think the movie has such a like color correcting tone to it
Big
that
time.
it looks more chromy than like
especially the
saturated and stuff. You know what I'm
the
saying?
one scene we get, it's dark and it's against two glowing sabers as the only sources of light. So
so it's a little skewed of how it looks. But
that has one of those ignition switches. That's a problem. It's just a square cut out of the hilt somewhere. It's not where any real switch would be. But
yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about the saber. Tom will have more to say, I'm sure. I know he's listening. Hi, Tom.
I mean, I was a notorious hater of the saber for the past few for like
a
year now.
You were.
And
but to be fair, that prototype didn't look great.
It looked bad, I thought.
I don't think it looked bad. I think it just didn't do it justice.
Yeah.
The only thing I wish I saw somebody, it looked like it had been weathered a little bit. This one wasn't. But
you could easily, if you wanted to.
I don't want to leather them.
I don't want to.
This one's got a freaking scratch on it. I might take it back.
Ooh, yeah. You will. Knowing
I might
you
take
will.
It back,
my last thing with this is, why did Darth Maul's Shadow Saber dropped with no announcement, and it went so smoothly and flawlessly, and then this gets an announcement. We got 6-hour waits.
Because this was the one that was the fan vote.
Okay, true.
So they wanted to make a big deal about it. Hey, remember when you voted for this?
Yeah.
Now it's here.
Yeah.
That's why.
But they've also seen how smooth it went not announcing it. They should just not announce the stuff anymore.
I wonder if that you can connect other lightsabers to that. Like the Shadow
I don't know. I think they're different diameters. The Shadow one's the skinniest Legacy one ever. Like, it's super skinny.
It's very skinny. But I'm interested if they're going to ever drop Seer. I guarantee you they drop.
They
a
will
Seer
after
saber.
this, because you got to be able to connect it to get cows.
That would be amazing.
She might be the most obscure saber they ever build. Then, if they get her.
Well, but I mean, if everyone knows this one, that's a big part of the story of the game. So maybe it's not as obscure as I think it is.
Yeah.
But I was talking to a friend of mine who is not a huge Star Wars fan, and he was like, "This game's underrated." I'm like, "Dude, this game is not underrated. This game is very highly rated.
I think it's adequately rated.
I think it's adequately rated. I don't think it's overrated.
And everyone that knows it says it's great.
Yeah. So
I think that's
it's got great
rated.
ratings. You know, I don't think it's underrated whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I like it. The only complaint I have is that it feels a little loose. Like I wish I'd have shown you this. When you put a blade in, it feels a little loose. But nothing's gonna be perfect. You know what I mean?
No.
So and it's also top heavy too.
Very.
Like when you're holding it, the bigger side is heavier because of the
and
other
I
sides.
think as big as that emitter is, I think it would look really good with the longest blade.
I think so too.
Not the medium Savi's blade.
Yeah, because it goes in pretty far.
Yeah, that
it's
emitter
it
eats probably like 4 inches, 5
Yeah,
inches of
for
the blade.
sure.
So you need the longer blade for that.
I agree. Lightsaber meetup tomorrow. Are you going to go to that?
Probably not. But if I do, I'm
Bentley
showing
wants
off.
to go. He's liking the lightsabers.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's his entry. I think it's going to be his entry point. He got so excited about these.
They've steadily gotten less interesting and less fun as I've went. But if I do go, I'm showing off that Halcyon lightsaber, being like,
Me too.
you guys don't got that, do you?
Me too. I'll be doing that as well if I go.
Call me Saber Snob.
All right. Speaking of Halcyon, so I'm going to give a light spoiler. Not spoiler, but if you want to go in completely blind to the Halcyon, don't listen to this. Evan is not going to talk story whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's not going to give any spoilers for any events that happen. He's going to be like, oh, so then we went to here for like... It's not. You're not going to ruin anything.
I'll answer like the questions like, did this part feel Star Wars, or how was this drink, or
so
like,
I have
what
a few
was
questions
your
at
bed
the end.
like?
I asked you a ton of them the other day when you were. It was like your last.
I'm glad
night
you
on.
did though, because
like,
I wanted to get things out. Yeah, I was writing as much as I could, texting you as much as I could, because I want to get it out.
I felt bad. I was like, I felt like I was bothering you, but I waited. I as bad as I wanted to. I tried not to text you because I was like,
no, I wanted you to though. You shouldn't have restrained. You should have kept texting.
I know, but I don't want you to be like looking at your phone. But now that I found you fucking viewed it, I cursed again. 14. God damn it, this is hard. 1435. And at the end of this, if you'll just snap that and send it to me, please.
Yeah.
3. Yeah. So anyway, so you're not gonna talk spoilers, but you're gonna have questions. And we're gonna go chronological.
You got me messing up too now.
Jesus chronologically in order. So I want to know everything from the moment you turned right off of that exit to getting there.
Okay, I got like my notes did not get too organized. So let me flip through them quickly and make sure I'm not missing something bit by bit here.
Okay. I'm so excited about Celebration.
Where did it
can't
go?
wait.
Where did it go? Okay.
Also, if you do go, just a word of advice: I would not cosplay.
After this, I'm not going to.
It is hot as crap.
I did everything I wanted to with cosplay, basically.
Also, too,
already.
I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. The people who are cosplaying,
oh yeah, my Kylo
have
looks like
movie quality.
Yeah, my Kylo looks like a Walmart costume.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to bound. Like for here, if you're going bounding is for when you're at Disney World, and I truly do not mean that disrespectfully.
I know you
truly
don't.
do not.
But I know when you put mine next to a movie,
they're gonna have
one, it looks
501st people there that are movie.
I'm proud of mine, but like
I
would never.
There's nothing wrong with yours.
Yeah, I would never say it's that good. All right, so check-in is 1 to 4, but who in their right mind is going to show up at 4?
Yeah, no, not me. I'll be there at 12:30.
We ended up getting there at
the floor is yours. I'm not going to interrupt unless I have questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if you do. So we ended up getting there at like 1:10. We didn't get there as early as we wanted to, but it wraps around. So you have to go in where Hollywood Studios cast members go into. This part, I don't think they put any thought to at all. It's really poorly designed up until you get to the Halcyon itself. So,
what do you think it's supposed to be though? Like, because it's supposed to be kind of nondescript, right? Like,
right? Yeah, that part I don't care about. I'm saying the logistics and like the utilization and application of like.
See,
it's a 1-lane road. So
I always thought they were going to do an entrance from the other road.
They should,
like, not the cast member. I bet you that happens.
They need to
because you're going to be backing up cast members getting to work.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You get in line with the same.
I know that
line
road because I used to work there.
Yeah,
it is a 1-lane road. You can't go around these people.
Nope.
That's a really bad move. Actually.
Yep. So in the same line to wait to get checked in with us were cast members trying to get to work. Hopefully they weren't late, and hopefully they didn't get marked off or whatever.
Half a point or whatever it is.
Yeah, the points. So I don't know. So we got there at like 1:10, and the line was basically to like Galaxy's Edge. We're like the security booth that lets the transports go into Galaxy's Edge, the backstage area. That is where we were. So I would say there's probably at least probably at least 25 cars in front of us at 1:10. So I'm going to recommend to you to get there like 12:30.
Okay, that was my plan.
Because there's only.
Meantime, we're going to be going separate, I assume. So
yeah, there's only one lane until you go across a bridge that gets you to the Starcruiser property, where there's like a security ticket booth, and at that ticket booth it breaks into 2 lanes. But that's when they just do the normal Disney like. This lane goes, and this lane goes. This lane goes. You've seen it in restaurants, and attractions, toll plazas, everywhere. So at that point, it goes back, though, from those 2 lanes back down to 1. So like it's basically 1 lane the whole way there.
Oof.
It took us a good... Did I write it down? I hope I wrote down the time. I don't think I wrote down the time, but it took us a good almost an hour to get onto the Halcyon. It was after 2 when we got onto the ship.
You wasted not wasted, but you
unintentionally we lost an hour because we got there at 1:10. So get there at maybe 12:15.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get there right. Yeah, I'm gonna get there
before
early.
1, way before 1.
I don't mind circling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If I had to, I would have just went over to the like cast parking lot and sat for 10 minutes, whatever. But
jeez.
So once you get finally through the gates, this place is like Fort Knox. You have to go like 2 security checkpoints, like
I heard
3,
Lynn say that
3 lift arm gates, and then like a moat with alligators. Okay, there's not really a moat with alligators, but the other stuff is true. So eventually you get up to the concept art, the gray building looking thing, all cement bunker looking building. I don't have any complaints with that. I think it looks beautiful. I like how it looks.
It's sleek, elegant, simple.
It looks just like the concept art.
Cool.
So that part hasn't changed. As soon as you pull up, like you open your car door, and as you're like opening your door, they're opening the back door, the trunk. They're taking all your stuff out before you can say a word.
Jesus.
Like
okay. So are these people in character?
They are not in character because they still have to deal with like here's your magic band and here is your car. Where should I park your Nissan Sentra, whatever. So they're not in character.
Do they take your keys?
Yeah, they valet it completely.
Sweet.
You give them your keys,
Perfect.
So you don't have to worry about your key the whole trip. You get like a tag that says my key is a Nissan Sentra, whatever it is.
That's typical valet.
Yeah. So I had to like actually get back to the back seat and grab some things I needed before they loaded it up because I had like half of my suit of armor off, so I could sit in the car comfortably. So I had to grab it before they could grab it. That's how fast they were.
You told me this. So like, if you have stuff you want to take on that moment, have like a separate bag.
Just have it in your hand or have it in the front seat with you or grab it before they can because they're getting your stuff in and out as fast as they can to help like mitigate that hour-long line of cars. Because I don't think it wasn't designed well capacity-wise. Like at a time, there's only like 4 cars unloading. and getting valeted.
Oh.
4 at a time. And this place has 500 rooms. So you're thinking 500 cars?
They should just...
And you're doing 4 at a time?
I don't know how the valet system works, but they should just have pre-numbered tickets and just rip
they
here,
gotta,
rip
they
here,
gotta fix
rip
that.
here.
This is really like the biggest complaint, I would say, honestly, from the
Really?
whole Starcruiser.
Okay.
So, and it's not even a part of the Starcruiser, really. So they valet your car, they take that away, and like as soon as your bags are going off, you don't even like think about it or notice it. They're gone. There's a cast member coming up to you with your magic bands.
How do they know you're you? So this was
okay. So I lied. So she comes up to you with, she's got an iPad, and she's like, "What's your name?" You give her your name, and then like 5 seconds later, someone comes up with your magic bands and a little black bag that has the Disney iPhones that are only for the DataPad app, the Play Disney Parks app. They tell you sign out of your Disney Parks app on your phone, the Play Parks app.
Okay.
Sign out of that on your phone. You don't use your phone for that. Use the Disney iPhone only for the Play app that you have to then sign in again on.
Do they give you like a fuel rod or anything so you can charge
They
your
don't,
iPad?
but they say you can come back to the front desk and we'll give you a fuel rod there. They give you charger, like not a fuel rod, but they give you the outlets to plug into in your room.
Okay.
The Atrium is loaded with outlets. There's like 25 outlets in the
That
Atrium.
Play app sucks batteries so hard.
It does, but this phone is nothing but Play app.
Gotcha.
I bet you couldn't even use it as a phone if you wanted. It's basically just the Play app.
Is it a phone or you said iPad?
It's an iPhone.
iPad?
You get an iPhone.
iPhone. Okay,
Yep.
so it's not a full iPad. Okay.
Nope. Yeah,
I thought it would be like a
it was smaller. It's smaller than my phone, and I've
Gotcha.
got the big ass, like the giant.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a standard, like just normal, like the ones
Yeah.
they use in the parks. The
Yep.
iPhone. Okay.
Yeah. So they give you those and the chargers for it, and I didn't have to actually charge mine the whole trip. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know on mine that sucks the battery. That's why I
Yeah.
barely
Same with me
use
too.
it. It
When
just
I'm
sucks
in
the
there
battery
for
down.
using the datapad to hack things and scan things,
It chews it up
in
quick.
an hour I lose like 30%.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I'm like,
it's nuts.
whoa, okay.
That's why I was a
Like,
little worried about that because I'm like,
yeah. So at first I was upset. I'm like, really? Why do I have to carry your phone and my phone? But no. Now I'm glad I did because my phone would have died. I couldn't have been taking pictures and videos, and also you can't really do both at the same time unless you have 2 devices. So I'm glad. So I mean, even
That's
if you
true.
don't want to vlog, if you just want to take pictures and stuff, that would be hard using one phone.
I'm sure they thought of that.
For sure. This whole place, this sounds like a knock, but it's not. This whole place is like an Instagram. It's designed for Instagram. They did that on purpose. But like, it looks good. It's not a knock that it looks good. So you get your Magic Band, you get your data pads, and then, you've seen the wall that says Galactic Starcruiser etched into the cement.
Yeah.
They that's set to that side for Instagram reasons. They're like, do you want me to take a selfie there, take a picture there? They'll take your picture for you at no charge on your own phone. So then we did that. We took a picture on our phone. A cast member took it of us.
Sure.
Yeah. Hopefully in the same pose Taylor and I did too. You guys should.
Hopefully, yeah. I'm gonna wear the dress.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I borrow her dress?
I don't think it'll fit, but
Sweet.
we can
I think
tailor it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So after that, they have a tiny, is maybe like 2 or 3 switchbacks just back and forth to get in through security here.
They have security?
Yeah.
At the hotel?
Yeah. So even though your bags are going scanned elsewhere, which you don't even see, you don't see them go through a scanner, metal detector, they just go away and you don't see them. You go in this main door.
Is this the only Disney hotel that does security on your bags? I kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, I really do.
They tell you when they're giving you your Magic Band and your data band, they're like, make sure you don't have any blasters, no blasters, leave them in your car. Lightsabers are fine, but no blasters. So, like, they emphasize.
Even fake ones, you can't have fake blasters?
Yeah, because they don't. If it
That's
looks like a
upsetting.
gun, it's a gun to them. So, like.
Man, they should do
I've
a
moved past that. Like,
Celebration, they just check them.
yeah, I keep watching all these Celebration vlogs, and I'm seeing, like, E-Web cannons,
it's
and I'm
nuts.
like, how did you get a...
You have to, I think the rules, you have to have, like, a orange tip on the end of it, and they have, like, a... They have like a tag that they put on it.
Yeah, I've seen those in the videos.
Yeah.
That's something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so
I
maybe
get
not
both
orange
sides.
tip. I may have made the orange tip thing up.
I've seen those in the videos though, where they
maybe
do.
it isn't orange.
Maybe it's a coincidence.
Dude, it's been 3 years since the last celebration, I
Yeah.
didn't cosplay. I don't remember.
Yeah, but I mean, my characters and costumes don't have blasters, so I don't really care. But I have lightsabers though. But they said lightsabers are cool, blades are cool.
That was a concern going in because we had heard that you can't take them.
Yep.
Which
But you can.
that came from Lynn too. So that was, dude. When he says something, I go like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I take big notice. So then you go up, and it's just like going into a park. They have 2 Magic Band scanners, one on the left-hand side, one on the right-hand side.
Oh, really? It's got a Magic Band scanner, like
Yeah.
like a touch point.
Yeah.
Just a
Before
regular.
you get in the door.
Is
Yeah.
it a Disney touch point, or does it have like the Halcyon logo on it?
It's a Disney touch point.
Has Mickey on it?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I could be wrong. I'm 99% sure. I didn't care about this detail too much. I was
I would have.
I was too busy crying already. Like,
put the Halcyon logo. The Halcyon logo is so beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. It's so
I do
simple.
too. I
the
love
circle, 2 lines, and a dot. Like,
but it's so distinctive. Like when you see it, like it's in your brain.
And it looks like a planet with a moon and an H for Halcyon. Like it.
Oh yeah.
That? It looks so good. So the music this whole time, you're not in universe yet. The music playing is actually the exact same background music loop from Launch Bay. So you're hearing the Launch Bay music the whole time.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Launch Bay is probably being chopped off here pretty soon.
I would imagine.
Unofficially, but it's getting chopped soon. So at least Launch Bay lives on here.
I don't know, man. I think it's just going to change. Like I think you need a place where you can go meet. And I think for sure, now that we're out of the pandemic for the most part, I think the meet and greets are going to come back, and I am convinced you're going to see a Mando and Grogu.
And a Mando.
I think you're going to have Mando and
Chewie.
I think Boba Fett will come back because all that's popular and stuff now too.
Yep.
But
so
anyway,
you get through the door, just a normal sliding glass door, and then on your left side and your right side, you can go through either one. There's an airport metal detector on both sides. It's just like a little airport. You take whatever's in your pockets out, put it in a gray bin. They go through a detector. You walk through a detector. And then after that process was fast. It was like, that was 30 seconds maybe. After that, you got this 2x2, maybe long hallway. It's probably 20 yards, 30 yards hallway. That is getting you queued up for...
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
We have some new action figure news.
Ooh.
TVC. You ready for this?
Yeah. Well, I'd be interested.
This is very exciting, dude. TVC, Empire Strikes Back R2-D2.
Yeah, I've got like 20 R2s.
I don't have a TVC R2. Those are very expensive.
I don't have one.
Stormtrooper from A New Hope. Imperial Gunner from Return of the Jedi.
Ooh, that's cool.
A Bespin security guard.
That's cool too.
And a second Bespin security guard. It looks like Will Hood, but it's not. But yeah, sorry. I just saw that up on Instagram. It just got posted, so I apologize.
No, it's okay. I'm into the gunner, the Imperial Gunner. That's cool.
He looks cool.
Yeah, I'd get that.
I'm gonna get all of them. I've wanted a R2 for a while, but they're one of those random ones that they did really early on that are so expensive now.
Yeah. So you go down the hallway, and they're queuing you up for the welcome video, intro video, kind of pre-show video-ish, still out of universe. And this video is up on my YouTube, which we'll talk about it later. I got vlogs and stuff going, but the pre-show video itself, the welcome video, is on my YouTube already. And the information in it, you got to hear, but some of the video is a little spoilery.
So hang on. So don't describe the video. So you go into just a room and it's just a welcome video?
Yeah, just a room with a TV, probably about the same size as your giant TV.
Sweet.
That just has, I'm forgetting the name of the guy who does all the like Disney parks videos and stuff. He might be like 40, 45-ish.
The black guy?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. Yeah, it's him.
Yeah, he's at Celebration.
Okay, yeah. So I've seen him in those videos too. But it's him.
He works at the park.
Yeah. It's
he's
ridiculous.
Just a cast member.
All right? But he's got a good voice and a good character.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Charismatic and stuff. Yep.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's a great host.
He's perfect for that.
Yeah, he is.
Really good host. But he's hosting the video. Some of the video is a little spoilery.
Might be rivaled soon.
So, like, But, like, as soon as it came out, I was like, oh, spoiler. So I wasn't looking at it. I was recording it and listening to it. But I'm like, I'm going to see this in 30 seconds. Why are you showing it to me now
annoying.
On a screen?
I wouldn't be watching it.
So don't watch it. Put your eyes down, whatever. Listen to it. It's important because it gives you, like, if there's an emergency in the ship, in the story, I'm paraphrasing here, but they're like, this is the alarm that will blare, and it sounds like the Star Wars alarm. A little bit like that. And it's like, that's when you report. Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
And it's like, this is when you report to the Atrium for further briefing or whatever. And it's like...
Oh, wait. So they do that when you need to be somewhere?
Yeah, if there's, like... It's, they don't really spoil this. They're like, if the ship comes under attack, this could be something you hear.
Oh.
That kind of thing.
Okay. I was thinking like a real emergency, like look for the nearest exit.
That's next. They go, and then in the case of a real life, actual emergency, they emphasize it big time. This is what will happen. And it's so different. You can't get it confused.
Gotcha.
You're fine. I'm sure some guests out there will, because there are dumb guests. But That's natural selection.
I'm one of them.
If you get stuck on the Starcruiser and that's how you go, and natural selection takes its course, it's fine. But huge difference there in alarms. So I'm glad that was part of the video. And then after that, it's just like, welcome to your adventure begins now, whatever. And then another part that is just like poor planning, in my opinion. There's only one launch pod that takes you up to the Starcruiser. So you have to wait for that one to leave and then come back for the next group.
Jesus
and then
Christ.
one and one. And these launch pods only hold 15 people at the most.
Holy you got to get there early then.
So I don't understand why they designed it to only unload 4 cars at a time and then only one launch pod and one pre-show room. And the launch pod only takes 15 people up at a time. I don't get that.
Damn.
I don't get it. But here we are with it. It's part of the experience, I guess. It just...
I mean, how hard could it be to add a second launch pod?
And that would have saved you 5 minutes
Cuts it in half.
times how many people?
Yeah.
You multiply 5 minutes times
It's a 5-minute trip
people.
up to the ship.
Give or take.
That
Give or
long?
take. It's probably closer to 3.
That's still a long time.
Yeah.
The Space 220 one is like 40 seconds.
And they have 2 of those. So thankfully there's 2 there, but I don't know. So
They'll fix that. I bet. If they get enough complaints about like, dude, I waited an hour to get on the freaking ship.
Yep. So, okay, I can't tell you that part. That's a spoiler. So the transport getting up to the Halcyon, there are things out the window that come into play like later on, but you don't know it at the time. So like pay attention to things out the window, because I didn't know it until the launch pod returning back to my car to go home. I was like, oh, we saw that thing earlier. Like it's not like a story point, but it's
Easter
cool.
eggy kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's cool to be like, there's that thing, and we use that thing to do the other part of that. So like, it's cool to see. And the transport reminds me a lot of the Disney Quest elevator. So it's really cool. There's a lot of aspects of this that it's like, this is like Disney Quest surviving. So if you're not a Star Wars fan,
dude, you're
gonna cry.
Preaching to my heart here.
You're gonna cry alone on the Disney Quest fan in you.
I have Disney Quest maps still.
Do
you have any of those?
I have like one.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have
more,
a few. I'll look through if I find another one.
Yeah, but
I have like the last one they ever did.
This shows you that Disney Quest A should still be around and could still exist, but B does
NBA
still
experience
exist.
should show you that.
Yeah, but it does still exist here behind $5,000, but it exists. So
I'd pay $5,000 to go to Disney Quest one more time.
Heck yeah.
I love that place so much. I went there every day for 3 weeks before it was closing. Every single day.
I would have too if I was here.
I got some cool vlogs.
Yeah,
I got some really cool stuff.
I think I saw 1 or 2 of them.
I've got some cool stuff about my YouTube channel is like on the DL, one of the better YouTube channels.
Especially in terms of like just showing
just
the
weird
history.
stuff I've gotten to do.
Yeah.
It's just cool. Anyway, bragging on myself a little bit, which I don't do that often.
Humble brag. Hashtag
I usually
humble brag.
hate myself. I hate everything I do. I don't think those videos are like great, but it's cool to see Disney Quest in its final days.
Okay, I said this already. Yep.
Speaking of which, did you know that I was at the Contemporary the other day and we just randomly walked into the arcade? They have a pod racing game. The one you sit down in.
Yeah.
It was off. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah, they had that at Animal Kingdom Lodge too.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah. They had like 3 Star Wars arcade games.
I didn't know.
Animal Kingdom.
I didn't know they had the pod racing one. I'm gonna have to go to that. I'm gonna have to go there just to play that game now. I love that game so much. Of course I do. Also, what kind of animal doesn't use Anakin's pod racer on that game? Like it's shaped as his pod racer.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to ride Ben Quadrineros or Sebulbas.
I found a Etsy shop that has all of the pod racers in T-shirt form.
That's cool.
I'm gonna have to get a few.
Yeah. So like I said with the things in the launch pod that you're going to see out the window, there's a lot of foreshadowing in this experience in general. I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but the more I've like watched and rewatched and edited my videos and vlogs, the more I'm like, oh, this is happening and that's going on. It's like you don't notice it in the moment.
Okay.
And you don't notice it until like the 5th or 6th time you see it. Be like, oh, that happens then, and you see that later, and then this ties in here. The writers of this are better than like any other. They should be writing all the films from now on.
Really?
Like,
okay.
This is the second best Disney Star Wars film. Last Jedi, then this.
Wow.
This as a film is amazing.
Okay.
It's almost as good as The Last Jedi.
So I want to back up a second because I meant to ask you this.
Yeah, I've jumped too far ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So there's not like a check-in desk, like a proper check-in.
No,
like
not
you don't
at all.
walk up to a desk.
Not at all. There is a desk on the ship that's called the passenger support desk or something. But you don't go up. You don't have to. If you have a question, go over there.
Okay.
But you don't have to go to that table at all the whole trip. It's the smoothest, aside from the time it took, but like once we got out of our car, it was so smooth.
Do you take your luggage? This is skipping way ahead, but do you personally take your luggage back to your own car?
No, they do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, the checking in and out, aside from the waiting to get out of your car,
Seamless?
was the smoothest thing,
Okay.
the most amazing thing ever. The one thing I probably missed it. They probably said it when they handed us our data pads, but we missed what the passcode is. They have passcodes on.
Is it 1971?
That's what we thought too, and I was like, maybe 1977 for the first Star Wars film.
2022.
And I thought that too, but we asked them, and they're like, "No, I mean, do I want to tell you this now? You're gonna find out. Like, do I want to tell you the
It's
code
a
now?
passcode. I don't think it's gonna.
Okay, it's 1138.
What does that have to?
THX 1138,
Oh.
and all the Pixar animators in class 1138.
1138. THX 1138.
Yeah,
Wait, was that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
THX 1138.
George's first movie.
You ever seen it?
Like snippets.
It's weird.
And yeah, it's very weird. But that part alone just made me laugh, and I was like,
That's cool.
this is what I need, more of this. And
Yeah.
the whole experience is that. If you take it down to the smallest detail of that and how happy that makes you, that is how this whole thing's going to go for you. So
That's cool.
yeah, so we probably just missed it in our excitement of checking in, but we asked them as they were taking us to our room. So the launch pod opens up, and you're at the front of the atrium.
Hang on, back up. You were very upset that they might have cut the RX droids.
Okay, well, and it was like, well, I think it's going to be in the Batuu transport because they're supposed to be owned and operated by Batuu. So I was like, okay, it's not in this launch pod. Fingers crossed. There's still 5% hope it could be in the Batuu box truck launch pod.
Nothing?
And, I mean, we'll get to it. I'll talk about it more later, but there's not a physical RX droid on the box truck that takes you to Batuu.
Okay. So I thought in the concept art, which I don't have the book in here because I have it inside because I was looking at it.
I took the book with me to the
Did you really?
And was looking at things next to it. Like, okay, they did that. They did. Nope, missed that. I was like,
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the rooms are spot on. The rooms look just like the concept
Yeah, they
art.
did.
Yeah,
I saw a few room because I don't care about the room.
What else did I tell you was like spot on? The rooms, the atrium was pretty spot on.
The atrium was spot on.
We'll talk about the dining hall, but it's a little off.
Yeah, because that looks really big in the concept art.
It's big in size, but not in scale, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. It's not like, because this one looked like it was like a 2-story tall building.
No, it's not that.
I'm sure it's not.
Definitely
I'm sure it's
But
not that big.
You can see where they did cut the budgets, but if I was in that same position, it's
But
like...
to be fair, though, concept art is just like, they literally tell Imagineers blue sky it.
True.
So if you have an unlimited budget, and then they kind of reel it in from that.
Yeah.
I think it even says that in that Galaxy's Edge book. It's like,
Yeah.
they just go, whatever your ideas are, give us the ideas.
Yep.
Like, I've been hard on them about budget cuts, too, because it's like, you're Disney, you have unlimited funds, essentially.
Right.
Like, they really, truly do. And to me, like, the more money you put into this, the more money you're going to get out of it.
Yep.
So it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I think they did a very smart thing with making this a very small hotel.
Yes.
Because I haven't done it
Yes.
yet, but I think the logistics of it would just be really, really hard if there's 1,800 people in the resort.
And that ties into the whole, like, I agree, and this is one of the first things I wrote down, but I haven't said yet, but I should have, but, like, this is what Galaxy's Edge promised.
Really? Okay.
When you think, like, the announcement of we're not building just one of these, or building two, like that Bob Iger speech,
Yep.
when you go to the Starcruiser, you picture, like, this is what he meant. This is what I was expecting. But, like you said, when you do it
budget cuts for that one,
you do it for, like, 300 people.
that one went over budget, too, a lot.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I've heard from people who know people, like,
Yeah.
like the people who are the financial people behind it, like, that they've talked to these people off the record, and they were like, yeah, $1 billion each land.
Oh, yeah. And that's not counting
Rise
the
got pushed
Starcruiser.
back. They had to basically install Rise twice.
Yeah. They put some of the, like,
Sensors
transponders
in
in
the-
and sensors in backwards.
Yeah.
It's
So
like, how do you do
which,
that?
I don't know. That seems...
Somebody got fired.
100%.
But
But
when you picture that, though, like, I get it. It's easier to do that concept for 300 people over a two-day controlled environment experience as it is 30,000 people on a daily basis in a theme park land.
Literally.
So I
and
get
more,
that.
and
but,
more.
But you could still give us a restaurant that has a singer in it.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect that at all.
Yeah.
But
I still think that's going to come eventually.
it has to, because I would pay $200 for this dinner.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, to have Gaia singing and me getting that food for $200, I would pay that.
See, it could almost be like people who are on the Halcyon don't get to go to that restaurant. You have to do it on another day.
Yeah.
Like, I think, because you're already getting the experience.
And that could tie into the story. It could be like, and Gaia's touring too, so let's drop her off on Batuu to do her show. And she goes and does her
One
show
night
on Batuu.
only.
Yep, there you go. Problem solved. Let's hope. So
before we move on, Do you think what they have done on the Halcyon could translate to Galaxy's Edge, or do you think it should be an isolated experience?
Some of it is reverse translatable. They could bring it down.
Gotcha.
And some of it needs to stay there. But
Okay.
and some of it went from Batuu to the Starcruiser.
Gotcha.
The
Yeah,
lieutenant
Scott
walking
Turbridge
around,
said
lieutenant going around, stormtroopers going around. Those characters almost literally left Galaxy's Edge and are now on the Starcruiser. So it's like,
you should bring him back.
why can't we have a lieutenant walking around anymore? Why not? Put a guy in a gray jacket. That's all you got to do.
All you got to do.
Disneyland still has theirs.
Yeah, I don't know.
They have a lieutenant on Galaxy's Edge.
I don't know why. That seems very, very silly.
Yeah, I don't get it. They don't have to be like an amazing actor.
But I would rather have Kylo Ren on.
Well, they have both though.
I know.
So why can't we have both?
It's true.
I don't know.
It's a fair point.
But some of it is definitely plausible and possible to come back to Batuu or come to Batuu. So maybe one day.
Gotcha.
Who
All right,
knows?
I'm shutting up now.
You're good. No, you're good. This is fine. I didn't mention either. We're still on the frickin' launch pod that gets you to the Starcruiser. But this is the last time, excluding show elements, where you hear John Williams. So in this launch pod up, you hear some John Williams music, and it's perfect.
Is it new John Williams music?
Sadly, no. I was hoping there'd be a Halcyon theme. The ship should have its own theme.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
It doesn't.
Don't need it, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Galaxy's Edge needed it.
Yeah.
Like the Galaxy's Edge suite is top 10 of his themes of all time.
It's
top
a
5.
theme. It's a theme from the. I won't tell you where it is.
I don't care if you don't, Tom. If you don't want to hear it, close your ears.
Jump ahead 30
Jump
seconds.
ahead 30 seconds.
But it's
15 seconds.
They play it when you launch pod back to Earth also, but it's the end of the Battle of Exegol. That happier celebratory.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's that, but it's very emotional. It fits the moment somehow. So you hear that going up, the door opens, and
to be fair, Star Wars recycles music all the time.
Oh, yeah.
The Force theme is in every friggin' movie.
Yeah.
Except Solo.
So the door opens, and it's just like on a cruise. Like the cruise line cast members are all there greeting you, like a Disney cruise line, and they're like, "Welcome in," and all clapping and whatever. And this is where the floodgates actually hit me and Taylor. And you come in, you're in the atrium. The bridge is on your immediate left.
So the launch pod drops you directly into the atrium.
Into the atrium.
Okay.
Yep. The bridge is directly on your left. Atrium is dead ahead of you. Everything you're gonna need to see and know is right there. It's genius Imagineering, reveals at its finest. It's it's good wayfinding too. It's all right, I know where I'm at now. Bridge here, atrium here. That's really all you need to know, basically. So at this point, a new cast member grabs you, and it was Taylor's birthday, so she even knew. She comes up and she goes, "A little porg told me it was your birthday. Happy birthday!"
A little porg instead of a little bird.
Yeah,
little porg told me little bird.
Yeah,
told me. That's hilarious. I love that.
So we're
I love that.
Right? Me too. Those
That's
little
awesome.
things. Well, I'll talk about it a lot more, but every single cast member we interacted with was when your mom tells someone about Disney, that's what you think of when you think Disney and Disney cast members. Every single cast member on the ship was that one
top tier.
Yeah, that one that you have a story about that they helped you when you're 12.
They're all those
they're
people.
all those people.
That's awesome.
And that's
That's
how
what it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be everybody, but I get it.
I hope it stays that way, but who knows? But that was all of them, where they were just perfect.
I think for the price point, it's got to stay that way.
It's gotta, but doesn't mean anything.
I think it will.
But
I think that's one of the things they're not gonna.
In universe and out of universe, each cast member was perfect. They were in theme, but also they just knew guest and passenger service. They just knew what to do and say at all times.
So I know that obviously the cast members who are I keep saying I'm going to shut up, but I just have questions that are coming to me as you're talking.
Do it. That's what this is about. Do it.
Do the cast members have backstories? Not like Gaia, obviously she does.
They do.
But
and they do how they used to in Galaxy's Edge for the first week.
Okay.
That. They're like that, but they're not annoying with it. They don't hit you over the head and be like, my father built this ship on Corellia, and then I've lived on Corellia my whole life, and then I want to go to Naboo. It's dude, I don't care. They don't do that. But they have it.
abroad in Naboo and the fall.
Yeah, they have it, but they don't beat you over the head with it. So we're just freaking out in awe of how beautiful the atrium is and how emotional we are. But cast members are "Oh, she's beautiful, isn't she?" And we're "Oh, she's a beautiful ship."
Is the atrium pretty big? That's not a spoiler. I mean,
no, it's not. I'm trying to think. It's not huge. It's the perfect size.
Okay.
It fits everyone in the ship
if
at
you had
one
to
time.
compare it to another Disney resort size wise of
like a lobby?
scale. Yeah.
Similar to the Poly.
Okay.
A little smaller than Poly.
Okay. That's pretty big. The building doesn't seem that big. That's what's interesting to me.
Yeah. When you're inside, it feels like it's way bigger than it is.
Really?
I don't know how they did it. Even the guest hallways to your cabins, they seem to stretch on twice as long as I thought. I'm like, how are we still walking to our room?
Really? Okay.
Like, it's so much bigger than I thought it was.
Cool. Okay.
And there's so many more levels to it than I thought there was.
How many levels are there?
I think it's kind of split level, so it's kind of deceiving.
So yeah, because I've seen on like some stuff where it's like on level 3 or on level 6. I'm like, there's no way this is a 6-story building.
There's different levels. It's kind of split level, but I want to say there's 3 levels of cabins.
Gotcha.
But in between the levels of cabins is like it's like level
show
and a half.
elements. Okay.
Yeah, it's like level and a half, level and a half. It's strange.
Okay.
And in like the lowest level, which is kind of the basement, is the dining hall.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very strangely laid out in that sense, but it
works
all
while you're
worked
there.
and it all was very intuitive.
Okay.
There is a ship tour. If you want to get it, it's about 15 minutes. We didn't even do it. You don't need it. Like, if you just walk around for 5 minutes, you'll figure it out. And there's a map on your app if you want it. And you can just ask cast members.
I can't place anything.
No, yeah.
I don't know what it looks like, but I've seen like on the play app.
But you don't need the ship tour. And I mean, they give you like little facts and little like backstories, but you don't need them. And also you can figure them out too. Like the backstory isn't super deep. You can figure it out. One of the things I noticed, and I heard a ship tour going by, there's a huge, awesome model of the Halcyon in the Atrium.
38 days, bro. This is getting me so excited, man.
So right in front of that, facing outwards toward the bridge, like the bridge of this model is facing the bridge of the ship.
Okay.
So it looks like the model is flying, with it.
Oh, cool.
This model is huge. It's like 2.5 the size of this table, probably 15 feet. That's probably overshooting it. Probably 10 feet still.
Still big.
They talk about the ship and like the guy who made it and whatnot, and there are 13 sublight engines on the back, and also there are 13 different floors of the Halcyon. We don't see all 13 as passengers, but there are 13 floors. And I'm like, is that a 1313 reference? What is that? Like, I don't know why 13 and 13. But
well, unlucky. So
maybe that's why too.
Have you read the Halcyon comics yet?
Just the one that you have.
I have the second one if you want to read it before you leave.
Kind of do.
I meant to.
I ordered the first one, so I'm getting the first one.
I tried to order all of us one. Yeah. But they only would let me buy 2 of each one on the website.
Of course.
And I was gonna get you the one that had the variant cover, but they had one left.
Dang, that's okay. I'm getting them all. Don't worry. You don't got to worry about it. If you see them and grab them, I'll pay you.
I will get them going forward now. There was a mix-up at the comic book shop. They were supposed to have them for me. They didn't.
All good.
I was very upset.
So let's think. Okay, so we got our cast member taking us to our room. She's walking down the hallway, and this is who we asked about the passcode, because like we didn't hear what it was, and we thought it was 1971. And she's like, "Oh, why is that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is like it's a year that something like big opened on a planet that we go to all the time." And she's like, "Oh no, we don't have anything like that." She goes, "It's 1138." And I was like, "Oh, I love it, thank you." So we get.
Did you ask why it was 1138 in universe?
No, I should have.
I'm gonna ask.
Ask that.
Like, why is it 1138?
Yeah.
Like, it's the creator's favorite number.
Probably.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. I forget the creator of the ship, but like they do reference him a lot. They're like the creator, the designer.
They call him the creator?
Both, the creator, designer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like whoever.
It would be great if it was like
ship.
George Lucas's name backwards, or like an anagram.
That name
of George
is
Lucas.
announced in Star Tours. It's like
yeah.
Yeah.
I forget.
Please pick up your bags or something like So could happen. That'd be cool. So we get to the room. You tap your data band against the door to open it.
Does it Star Wars open?
Not automatically. You have to manually slide it open. But all the doors slide, man.
Even the door to your room slides too?
The door to the room slides manually. But
that's fine.
You grab it by the handle and slide it. That's
probably a
door
safety
too.
thing.
Yeah.
Like walking in and out. I get it.
Yeah. The bathroom doors slide in and out too. Most of the show doors, all of the show doors, and even like the doors into the restaurant or the dining hall, those you push a button and it opens. So that one isn't manual. You push the button and it opens. So you get to the room. She gives you like a little orientation of your room. The rooms are even bigger than I thought. I don't know how they did this.
Really?
Like, the bunk beds, I didn't sleep in them, but I laid in them. 2 full-grown adults could lay in each bunk bed.
My size?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm 5'11", and there was like 6 inches of clearance.
No kidding.
Yeah. And there, like, I could almost sit up without hitting my head too. Like, there's plenty. The bunk beds are huge.
What about like your feet? would I be able to lay flat in it?
Yeah, that's not. I laid flat, and I had 6 inches of clearance.
No
on
way.
Total.
Okay.
Probably at least 3 inches on each side of me.
Oh, cool.
Total room.
One of us will be sleeping in the bunk beds for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I was just so exhausted.
Probably alternate nights or something.
Yeah, so the bunk beds are awesome and huge. The room is so much bigger than I thought. They save space so well. There's like a cubby under your bed where you can put giant suitcases, even full-size suitcases, slide right under the bed. There's a pull-out bed that comes down that could sleep 2... I don't know if they're not as big as the bunk beds.
Gotcha.
But there's a table that slides out of the wall under the viewport.
That's cool.
And there are 2 like little futon looking seats that you can roll out on rollers that come out under the viewport. You can open and close the viewport. And there's several different lighting settings for the room. The bed has like a light under the bed. You can turn on and off, but it makes the room look amazing when you have that light on.
I saw that in the room review I watched.
Yeah, the lights are beautiful.
It looks really cool.
There's so much cool lighting you can do. And the one complaint I have is if you want to sleep with the viewport open, the white lights that outline the viewport stay on with the viewport.
Ah,
so
that's
you
annoying.
Can't do it. You got to close the entire window and the entire viewport. So you can't wake up and see stars. You have to wake up, then open the window.
What if all the other lights are off in the room? Is it still a pretty... I don't mind some ambient light.
It's pretty bright. It's
brighter
than
TV
this.
on. I sleep with the TV on.
Might be able to manage it.
Okay.
But I couldn't. I was like, this is too bright. I sadly
I
had
have
to
to
close
have
the viewport.
TV on or something like that.
So
It's usually it's for the noise, though.
yeah.
Is there any ambient noise on the ship? Like, does it sound like there's like engines going?
It's not as big as I kind of got from other people's talk, but there is if you're like really if it's dead silent.
I expect like a rumble, like a constant,
super low. But
okay.
Yeah, but like
what's better than it being too loud and obnoxious?
Yeah. So she kind of showed us the room, and she was like, "Here's your," I forget what she called it, like the droid communication panel, and you tap your magic band on this panel on the wall, and you can talk to the logistics droid D309, which is the bipedal protocol-looking droid that we've seen. So she doesn't appear anywhere, like physically. That's all I'm going to say. But, like, she's there. You can talk to her in the communications.
I've seen that in the rooms.
Some of it every now and then is a little janky, but for the most part, it's a smooth two-way conversation. It's a little scary how well it's integrated. Like, she gets super, super annoying, though. You're going to hate her by the end of the trip.
Is it just constantly asking you questions?
Yeah, but she's like, when fans complain about C-3PO being annoying, I don't think he is, but when fans complain about him being annoying...
He can be. He can be to me.
That's her.
Gotcha.
She is what fans are complaining about. That is her entire character. But she's pretty essential, though. You have to talk to her.
Okay.
You don't have to constantly, but you should once a day, at least.
Okay.
We did 3 times a day. And I don't really recommend her end of the day thing.
It's just a survey.
That, but also she asks if you want a bedtime story or a lullaby. If you want like a kind of cute nerdy thing, do it, but like it was annoying. The lullaby was way too long and she can't sing, and I was like, shut up, we're done. And the bedtime story is a retelling of a Star Wars story. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen the movie. Thanks.
Like of all of them?
I get it. We turned it off, so it might have been all of them. I would have been very upset if it was 6 hours of
Does it start with A New Hope?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I've seen it. I'm good.
That's hilarious.
So aside from her, though,
I love that, though. That's a cool little...
Yeah, but it's just her voice. Is
I get it. I haven't heard the voice, but like if
She's
it's annoying, it would be a... Can you turn the volume down or anything like that?
You can turn the volume down. But she's annoying. But, I mean, she helps you out with reminders. She's like, your dinner reservation is coming up in 20 minutes. And stuff like that. She's like, you won't want to miss. And it's like, okay. So that the, quote, TV in your room is set to the setting where it's an ever-changing map that follows the course of your voyage.
That's cool.
Starts above Chandrila, you orbit Batuu, and it shows you orbiting Batuu. So we never touched the remote, but that's the TV. You can
the remote looks cool. I saw that the remote is themed.
Yeah, so you can flip and watch Earth TV if you're dumb, I guess. But we didn't touch the remote. We left it there the whole time, just on the map. And it was really cool, A, being unplugged for that long, but B, just like seeing the map just ever change and match the rest of the voyage. And the viewport out the window matches the rest of the voyage. You see Chandrila, then you see Batuu. Anytime the ship goes to light speed, you see light speed outside of your cabin. Like in The Last Jedi when like Leia's got the window behind her and she's like got her hand in her head.
Yeah.
like your head.
Are the graphics good and convincing?
If you get like right up against it and look at all angles, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's pretty fake. But like if it's just there and you're like not staring at it for days.
Is it better or worse than Space 220? Because I thought Space 220 was pretty underwhelming.
It's probably on par. I'd give it
damn,
on par.
really?
Yeah.
But
I think it's kind of meant to be that way because like the window's a little warped, so they're like it's not supposed to be crystal clear view. Unlike a cruise ship, how you have like curved portholes, it's kind of that same idea. So on the bridge though, it's way better than Space 220. The bridge window viewport,
that's good to know.
Which is like 3 times the size of this room.
It's that big?
That viewport is beautiful. It's crystal clear, looks amazing. You think it's real.
Really?
Yeah, the room and the viewport and the bridge do not match up. If you put them side by side, you'd be like, that's a PS2. This is a real window. Like, you wouldn't be able to. So we talked with the logistics droid, D309. As much as
what is her name? D309?
Her name is D309.
D309.
As annoying as she is, if there's a figure of her, I'd buy her. But there's not yet.
Is she visually represented anywhere? You don't have to say where, but she is. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's a protocol droid like C-3PO, or is it a different type of droid?
Different type of droid, but she's modeled after like a protocol droid.
Gotcha, okay.
We haven't seen a droid like her anywhere. But
cool, okay.
She might be a Chandrila Starline exclusive droid.
Oh, okay.
It could be, because they have other ships in their fleet, and you can see other Chandrila Starcruisers out your window in their fleet. Okay. So it really makes it feel like how Disney has 6 ships
like
now?
when you go to a cruise line and you see
the
all
other
the other
ships. You can see other Chandrila ships out the window. Okay. It's cool.
I didn't realize how inexpensive cruising was, by the way.
Yeah. Me neither. Now I'm like, I could go on a real cruise.
Dude, I know. Like we were looking. I saw stuff that was like in the next few days for 4 nights for $250 a person.
Whoa.
I was like, man, if I didn't have to work,
right?
I'd be gone now, right?
And also if even out
that's Royal Caribbean, like a top tier cruise line,
like second best maybe.
I think Disney's probably the best.
Yeah,
but
it's probably those two.
But I've only done one cruise.
Saying
in my
life, a guy who's never cruised except a Star Cruise, but that's the best one in my opinion.
I've only done one, but it was when I was like 17, so I didn't get really 16, 17. I forget how old I was.
Yeah,
but I didn't get to really do.
You see the kid side
stuff.
of it.
Yeah, I was still going to the teen lounge. I mean, I couldn't go to the casino. Like I couldn't smoke.
Which we're gonna get there, but you hang out in the lounge this whole trip. Any 5% of downtime you get. Go to the lounge. Don't go to your room. Don't.
Oh, I don't plan on being in my room unless I'm making myself sleep for 3. I am fortunate enough where I can function. I function the best 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night.
I don't, but I can.
I go to bed at 1 o'clock every morning. I wake up at 6.
I can do that. I just don't want to, but
6:37, sometimes like that. But that's 6 hours. And that's my normal how I function every single day. I can work with less.
Yeah.
I don't plan on being in the room unless I'm falling asleep. I also want to check it out and get some videos and that kind of stuff, but I don't know how many videos I'm gonna do. Oh,
I had over 6 hours of video.
That's insane.
I didn't use all of it, but I probably cut it down total to 4.5 hours.
I might do a walkthrough. I don't want to
do anything like
story
that.
Stuff.
I did a handful of story stuff. A handful.
It's going to be out of context, and people are only going to watch it if they don't care and aren't going, or you know what I mean. I don't know. There's going to be so much stuff by the time I get out there.
Yeah.
You got to go within the
I don't know. You'd be surprised. There was no one on my cruise except me that was phone in this, phone over here, phone over here. I was the only one
so
doing
much money for people. They just went I'm just going to enjoy this.
I felt like I was being annoying at some point. So I was like, I should put my phone away.
Really?
No one else did. Yeah, I felt like I was being annoying.
It's the opposite of Disney World.
Right? Where everyone is doing it. So after we got dropped off in the room, we talked to D309. They had lunch in the dining hall in the, what's it called? Crown of Corellia dining hall. So we went there.
Is that where all your meals are? They're all in the same place?
Every single meal is there.
Is the lounge connected to this?
No. But there is food in the lounge too.
Sweet.
Both on a menu, which is included, and also they just have things out that you can go up and grab sometimes. But the menu in the lounge, as long as it's not alcohol, you can order it and they don't bill you at all. It's just included.
They do, for whatever reason, give you an itemized receipt.
They do, and I kept all those.
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
What's the purpose of that?
I don't know.
It might just be so they can keep track of inventory.
Maybe. Still, though, why do you need to give it to me? You can just keep it.
It's just for your... Does it tell you a price on anything? No. Is it just an itemized, you got this,
just itemized, just like Coke, Pepsi, chips, or whatever the chips are called.
Yeah.
Interesting. Not why'd I say Pepsi,
I don't know why I said Pepsi, but...
Coke and Pepsi.
How dare you.
That's how fancy they are in the Starcruiser. They have both.
No, they don't. You can't be fancy and drink Pepsi.
That's true.
That shit is for trash people.
So we went and we got a bunch of free food at lunch. Well, included food, whatever. We ate.
It ain't free.
It ain't free. But so we got a bunch of that, and my stomach was already hurting. And this was at like almost 4 o'clock, and dinner was at 7. So at 4 o'clock, we left the food. We went straight to the Atrium because that's when the muster begins. That's the first story element / just first thing of the voyage, official thing.
Okay.
So that's why they say...
When is this?
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
That's why they say check-in is 1 to 4, but by 2:30, everyone's checked in. So that's just a formality. But they get you into
stragglers and that kind of crap.
Yeah. So the Atrium it's just a big square. And there's plenty of comfy seats in there, and it's very beautifully laid out, and there's like cushioned cloth seats and stuff. There's a bench that cuts the Atrium in half that runs down the middle of it. For the muster, I don't think it's necessary, but for the last event of the whole trip, you want to be in the very middle of that bench.
Okay.
So you can see everything.
Okay.
Because that last event, there's no good. You don't want to be front row. You don't want that. You want to be in the dead center because it happens around you.
Okay.
But when you get in this first event called muster, they designate you into like sections and stations. They're like, hey, if we ever need to gather the crew here and all the passengers, come back to this spot you're standing in now. And they don't mean that literal 1 by 1 foot square inch. They just mean that corner of the room. So we went to the back right corner by the launch pod that brings you in. And as long as you're in that area, you could stand 20 feet over here, 20 feet over here. They just divide that Atrium into 4 quadrants. So the final event, you go back to that quadrant you're in this muster. But if you stand in this back right corner in the muster, you can stand in the front left corner in the final event. As long as you're in that same quadrant, you're good. So just final event, stand in the middle. So we get there, and that's when like the characters do some introductions, and you get to meet people, and it's just like I don't know, like a real cruise would be, I guess, when you like are welcomed aboard your ship, and there's a toast, and that's when I said that Tabui Tea, right? That's what I said.
I think it's what you said.
Yeah, that's like part of the toast. So like that's part of that lingo I picked up. So things happen. I can't say what. We go to dinner, and this isn't a spoiler. It's like in the marketing, and it's on the app as part of the schedule, is Dinner with Gaia. These songs are better than most of Oga's songs. Like, they need to put these on Spotify and stuff.
I need everyone to understand.
This is coming from me.
From you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That listens to
Evan
Oga's on
spent
loop.
time at Oga's on the Halcyon. Like,
it was less than 40. It was like 25 minutes. It was in and out. It was great.
I'm just pointing at that's how much you love Oga's. It's like DJ Rex is your dude.
Yeah.
You love Oga's.
I have
I
have over 100 Oga's coasters.
That's crazy.
Counting the 3 I just got too, the new 3. So there's only 1, but I got 3 of the new ones.
Did they limit you on those?
It didn't seem like it. I mean, they give them to you, but she brought us 3, and there's only 2 of us, so I don't know what the point of that
Can I get
was.
a few more of these? I collect these.
They probably would.
Okay. I mean, it's a coaster. It's not like
and it's a different substance. It's not that cardboardy.
Yeah,
it's a different.
It feels nice.
Did you? Yeah, you saw
you
mine.
showed it. Yeah, you showed it to me when I came to pick
you
up.
felt my coaster.
When I came to pick up the what is it?
The glasses.
The glasses.
Those glasses.
And
are beautiful.
Tom's lightsaber accidentally.
Yeah, you sold it right already.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
Okay,
good. I sold it for $15,000.
Nice. That's 2 voyages on the Starcruiser.
Going back in a week.
Nice. So during dinner, Gaia's there and she's performing. I can't.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, her songs are amazing. I want these songs put out like they did DJ Rex's playlist. They're that good.
Is there any storytelling elements to it that would spoil anything?
Oh yeah, there are.
In the songs?
In the songs and at dinner.
Okay. No, I just mean like if they put the songs on Spotify, would the songs themselves ruin anything going on?
Out of context and out of the room, just listening to it, no.
No, okay.
It wouldn't. So if they do put them out before you go, you can listen.
It'd be fun to know the songs before you get there. You can sing along to them. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So...
Did you get a text yet?
No. I don't think it's coming.
Damn, dude.
So
close at 9, right?
All the characters are involved in dinners and in this dinner because like all the characters are just involved in everything. That's why you're there, is for the story.
So are the characters like different? Do they look different from like regular cast members who are working on the ship?
Yes.
Okay. So you know their
like
character.
Almost questionable is Linka Mock, the cruise director, but She
was Lena
stands
Mock.
out. Linka Mock.
It's Linka?
Linka Mock.
I thought it was Lena Mock.
No, there's a K in the first name. She's very good though. She's
well,
fun.
I had a typo on something I need to go change.
She's the only one that you're like, oh, she could just be like the leader, or not the leader, like a coordinator or a leader, but she's obviously not. She's the only one that's almost questionable. But everyone else, you're like, nope, that's clearly a character, clearly someone
God,
I need to.
spoilers. Jesus, why did I look this up?
What are you doing? Stop.
Oh, it's concept art. Never mind. It looked really real for a second. That scared me. I just was looking it up because I wrote Lena in something that I didn't.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that because it's part of the thing, and
just
I gotta
don't
change
look
that.
things up. Just ask me because I'm serious. That's
Okay.
not me being like I know everything.
No. I would rather do that.
Yeah. So this is what I was talking about when I told you I think off air that all the vlogging I'm doing and all the video editing I'm doing, rewatching the same experience that I lived, I wasn't noticing things until like the 6th time I watched it.
Damn, for real?
But dinner, all the events have things that are going on all around you that you can't see everything. And that's something that goes on throughout the rest of the voyage is you can't see and you can't do everything. It's not possible. But there's so much misdirection. So if you ever think I'm focusing way too much on this one event happening in front of me, I should look somewhere else. Look somewhere else. Because there's misdirection happening every single second. There's always something going on when you're not looking. Okay. So if you're doing one storyline and you're siding with this group, the other group is doing something behind you, secretly behind your back, that you should probably try to find out. Things go on all around you and misdirections are everywhere, not only at dinner, but just at all times. So keep that in mind if you want to try to see more than I saw. Because now I'm watching the videos being like, I should just look to the left and I would have seen that. Like,
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
I don't know. It's like it feels.
So it's a linear story, but while that line
there's
is happening,
3 stories going on all at the same time.
That's crazy.
So whatever story you're
you
following,
can't be a part of each individual story.
Not easily. You'd be dead. You couldn't do it.
See, I'm
You'd have to never eat and never sleep. And I already didn't sleep, but I ate a lot. But it's really not possible to do all 3 stories.
Damn.
And that's part of the genius of the writing is all 3 of these stories weave in and out next to each other, inside each other, but you never know it until the finale. Because I didn't see the other 2 storylines, but watching the finale, I was like, oh, while we were doing this, they were over there getting that thing, and I wish I knew that we had that thing. And like, it's
so. It's
a lot.
Do you? Do they like ask you what you want to do? Like what team you want to be
That's
on?
pretty incredible
direct?
how they did that. I'm still. I mean, a lot of it is datapad. So much of this is datapad.
So it's like what you're interested in on like they're watching what you're doing. Of course they are. But
and also like your clothes tell the story more than you. So if you do want to dress up, what I was wearing
plan on
was
arriving in an X-wing pilot costume.
okay. Well, that's pretty obvious. That's gonna be a giveaway of what you want.
Perfect.
It was same with me too. Mine was obviously all first order. I had first order patches and symbols and jackets and hats. Like it was obviously all first order. And then they also could see which character I went to first and talked to.
Did you and Taylor? Oh, interesting.
And also when you get to your room.
Was Taylor first order, or did she do the same thing you did?
She was first order, and she was obvious too. Neither of us had any question. It was obvious what we were, to the point where the other guests were like, "Man, you guys don't hide your affiliation, do you?" And we're like, "Nope, first order." And so,
may the first order reign.
Right for the order. But in your room, your first experience with D309, even kind of she brings it up, and that's how they gauge it too. However you respond to her is like, we see what you want going forward.
Gotcha. Okay.
For the rest of these 2 days, but it's.
And then that translates to your data pad.
It's probably like 30.
So this is very technology driven and like intricate.
At first, I was like, "This is way too much data pad. I'm not here to."
I remember you texted me that.
I was like, "I'm not here to be on my phone. I'm here to live and see this." But after like, not even the first day, I was like, "Data pad's fine. This is the right amount of data pad."
Because I remember when I first texted you, like, you said there's a lot of data pad, almost too much.
Yeah,
that was your like a quote what you said.
Yeah, almost word for word, something like that. But after the first day, I was like, nope, datapad's fine. You need it. It progresses the story, but it also lets you feel like you're in. I
just don't understand how it progresses the story. I mean, I know I'll see it.
It does, but big time.
Okay.
It's like when you're not face to face with whatever character and storyline you choose to do. It's almost like you're texting that character when you're not there with him or her. Because it's a conversation you're having, but the other actor, the character isn't on the other side of that phone.
No way.
It's all AI, but it just he asks you a question or she, and then you answer that question, and that spawns a new question.
Wow. No one. I haven't heard anyone. I haven't been listening, but I haven't heard anyone break it down like that.
It's all it is. It's
That's
text
so fascinating.
messaging your character that you choose to hang out with.
Huh.
That's all it is. And, there's 50 other people that have chosen the same character that they're also having that same conversation with. It's just you don't know it.
And you don't interact with any of these other people?
You can, but, you're not watching them text the same conversation, so you don't know what's happening at the moment. But now that I'm home, I'm like, oh, okay, the same conversation was being had with the other 50 First Order fans on the ship.
Was it pretty spread out, like who was a part of what?
There's more First Order than I expected. But I think some of that was just a little bit by the people that didn't do a lot of interacting, just got lumped with First Order. Because there's really only one First Order character to talk to. And there's 7 Resistance people to talk to. So it's like, if you don't want to talk to anybody, you probably would just get lumped in with First Order.
Just because there's more people that can
I feel like that's kind of what happened. Out of the 50 people that seem to be consistently in our group, probably 30 of them were First Order fans that were following that story.
I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but can you start down one road and then turn?
Yeah. And you can turn back, or you could stay, or you could go. You could do 20%
so
First Order, 20% good guy, 20% smuggler.
Because that would kind of go with what my character would be.
It's doable.
Somebody who was not defecting from the Resistance, but
disillusioned.
Yeah. And if no one answered the Battle of Crate, why am I risking my life and my family's well-being to fight a fight that no one seems to want to fight?
I mean, the lieutenant might come up to you and be like, Resistance scum, what are you doing here? And you could be like, I'm thinking about quitting. And he could be like, oh, you should join us. And he could give you all this stuff. And then he might text you. But then the cruise director might be like, oh, what are you doing here, pilot? How's the battle going? And you could be like, oh, I'm thinking about quitting. And she'd be like, that's too bad. And then she might text you later. So
that is so interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see your side of it, because you're gonna show me parts that I didn't see, and you're also gonna be one of the few people that might show a little bit of everything. The people I've seen, I'm the only First Order thing I've seen. Everyone else is resistance. But it might be you might.
So is it First Order, Resistance, and Smuggler?
Smuggler, and there is a character that is he helps represent the smugglers. He leans Resistance, but he likes to play both sides. Where I'm here just to better myself. I'm here for me.
Okay.
And he's a really fun character. I like him a lot.
Is that Sammy?
No, his allegiances are obvious. I'm like, dude, okay.
Okay.
But I like his character and I like his story.
So who's the smuggler?
It's Wraith Cole. Have you seen anything on Wraith?
I don't think so.
Okay, I love his name, but
Wraith,
that sounds like a name you would make.
It does.
I love his. Honestly, it's a character you would make. I think you'll like him a lot.
Okay.
You might end up hanging out with him more than I expect anybody.
Okay.
So dinner happens. While dinner was happening,
how was dinner? What did you guys?
The first dinner, was better than the last dinner. The first dinner is probably the best meal.
It's not the same. Trip. It's not the same.
No.
Okay.
Both lunches are different. Both breakfasts are different. Both dinners are
That's
different.
good.
So the first dinner was more of a.
See, our first dinner is the captain's table.
Okay, and see, this I waffled back and forth on too. I texted you even.
Yeah.
And now that I've watched my own vlogs 6-7 times, I've noticed the importance of the captain's table.
No kidding.
So when I walked in,
said to me, you don't think it was worth even
when I
$30
walked in, I asked twice. Once at valet, I was like, "Can I get captain's table?" And they said, "No, we're all sold out. Check again when you get aboard later." So I checked again on board later because I wanted to get it just to see. Yeah. And they said, "Nah, we're all booked. You can keep asking if you want."
It's only 12 people, right?
Yep. At
11 and then a captain.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Okay.
11 and
I've heard a little bit.
11
about
in
this.
one seat.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about this, and I don't want to know anymore.
Being there in person, just watching it as I was eating dinner, I was like, "This is a waste of money. You're just at a circle table. What's the point?"
Well, you get different courses.
But yeah, there is a lobster course included that looked amazing. That I was like, I wish I had that just for the lobster alone.
Yeah.
But after day one, I said, "You don't need
7
captain's
courses.
Table." Yeah, it's
plus it includes a champagne toast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay, that alone makes it worth it.
30. I mean, a cocktail is $15.
$30, and the lobster is 15 itself too. So and a cheap lobster.
Yeah.
But
Red Lobster.
The food alone made it worth it. But dinner one, sitting there, I was this close to it. I was 10 feet away from captain's table.
Okay.
So I got a lot of it myself.
Gotcha.
But sitting there, I was like, nah, I don't need that. But once I got home and watched it, I was like, how did I not see that happen right next to me? And
no
how did
kidding.
I notice this thing go around? And I was like, So you need Captain's Table.
Damn.
You need it. So I'm glad you have it.
Oh, cool.
And next time I'm getting it.
Okay.
Because I have to have it.
Yeah, we even like, because, so I don't know if we told you this, but there was availability. I don't remember if it was your exact cruise or the weekend after.
I think you said it was the weekend after.
I think it was the weekend after.
Yeah.
I think both were available, but the Captain's Table wasn't available. And me and Tom were both like, look, dude, it's already paid for. Like, at this point.
I added the photo pass, which I'm glad I did. I'll talk about that too.
Cool.
Like, that was worth it to me.
I'm not paying $100 for photos.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I wouldn't if I was you.
Care.
Yeah, I know you and you shouldn't.
I don't care at all.
Yeah.
But it was something we like seriously debated on, like if we can go on with Evan, is it worth it just to not do the Captain's Table? And the more I see it, the more I want to do it, because I'm the kind of person that loves that kind of thing.
You should.
And I think it's worth it for me to wait a month.
Yeah. To
do something that I really want to do.
I'm going to want to do it next time. So when we go, I'll do it then, and you'll do it again.
Yeah. Okay.
And you might notice something new because there's something new every freaking time I watch this.
Well, if I go again, I'm going to do a different story.
I said that too, but I don't know anymore. I had so much fun, and I missed First Order things even. Like, that's how much is going on that I miss parts of my own mission.
I just can't fathom that there's that much going on, and I'm not calling you a liar. It's just like I haven't done it yet, so I don't know what to expect.
And at the time, I didn't think there was. I'm like, nope, I saw all of it. But now I'm like, how did I miss that? How did I not see this?
Interesting.
So dinner was going on, and I got up to go to the bathroom.
What'd you order?
Well, you don't order anything. It all just comes straight up. They give you a menu if you're curious to see, and it has drinks on it if you want your drinks.
Okay.
But you don't need to. It just
comes out?
Yeah, you don't place any orders at all.
Oh, sweet. That's actually really cool.
Yep.
So you don't have to like pick an entree or anything? They just bring it out to you?
Yeah, they bring it all. And you can pick more. You're like, I'd like this. I'd like more of that. They'll do it. But, you don't really have a lot of time for it unless you're just eating fast and like, give me it now. But like, things are moving at such a fast pace. I found myself...
Yeah, 7 courses is only like an hour and a half or something crazy like that.
Yeah, because the first dinner was 5 and the second dinner is 7:30.
Yeah,
they have to turn that place around for the next meal.
So while...
I found myself, even after this first meal, waiting
how they run this.
for the meal to end.
It seems so exhausting.
Yeah.
For them to operate all this.
I was almost waiting for the meal to end because I'm like, I felt like I was missing things happening. I wasn't because things are happening during the meal.
I'm such a food dork. I'm going to love this crap.
You will.
I'm going to love it.
I can't get in the food as deep as you. I can just say I liked it. It was good.
What was the best thing you had for dinner?
Dinner one. Do
you remember everything you had?
Not everything, just the things I liked a lot.
Okay.
Like there's a course of 3 bao buns they bring you. One is veggie, it tasted like a spicy bean burrito, but a good one.
Interesting.
And I was like, it's too spicy for me, but it's good.
Okay.
Another one was Was
there beans in it?
I think, yeah, a few beans.
Okay.
It was just the veggie one, but there were beans. And then one was a bantha. It was a braised bantha brisket. So it was just a beef brisket. It was really good. It's the blue one. So like if you think blue bantha milk, blue beef brisket, blue bantha beef.
Okay.
It was really good. And then there was one that was like a barbecue teriyaki tip-yip chicken bao, and that was really good. Those were the 2 best things at dinner one. And then they had like a steak and mashed potatoes, which were really good too. And all of this food, half of it didn't even look like the words I'm saying. If you told me it was a steak and mashed potatoes, I wouldn't have believed you until I ate it. But it was all really good. So I left dinner, I stepped out to go use the bathroom, and based on my outfit, I didn't even interact with this character at all except for this because I didn't care to follow their story. But the cruise director, Linka Mock, was walking past me as I was going to the bathroom out of dinner, and she just nods at me and she goes... what'd she say? She said governor as I walked by. She goes, governor? And I was like, dang, how'd you know my character? Like, that was awesome. And I said, director, as I walked past her. So that was cool. And then coming out of the bathroom, going back to the table, I ran into the lieutenant. You know his name. I can say his name.
Lieutenant.
Right? Lieutenant Croy. Harmon Croy.
Yeah. Harmon Croy, yeah.
I run into him after I was going back to the table. And him and I just had we were standing on opposite sides of the hallway. Other passengers were going past us like crazy. It was like a river. And he swam across the river to get to me and have a conversation with me. And we were talking about the performance and the songs and dinner. And what else did he say? He was just like, yeah, this is going on and this is going on. He's like, remember, I'll be meeting you over here later. And I was like, yes, I'll see you there, sir. And like, he just came to me and had this conversation that felt organic and natural.
So
about something that was happening later.
I heard a rumor that these people are all mic'd and camera, like they have earpieces and cameras.
They definitely do have mics. I wish I had paid better attention, but I didn't see any earpieces or cameras, but I'd believe it. I would definitely believe it, but I didn't see them. But I was just so wrapped up, and I was talking with a fellow member of the First Order. Like that's how I was not trying to figure it out at the moment.
That makes sense. You're trying to engulf yourself.
There are things that I was trying to break down.
I'm gonna have to separate because I have the kind of mind where I'm like the first time I rode Rise of the Resistance, I was like, holy crap, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And while I'm in the Transport Shuttle, I'm like, how do they do this?
Yeah.
And I think it's just because I love Imagineering and I respect it so much that I'm always trying to go like, how are they pulling this off? Like, to me, the biggest reveal of all time was the Transport Shuttle. The very first time we rode
the same door.
And the same door opens. Like,
yeah.
I love standing in the back
you and I
watching.
talked. We were like, so did we just go backwards into a room? Did we go in a circle? Did we go up or down?
Now
we were
know
trying
how
to figure
it
it
works.
out. It's just a rotation.
And you can tell when you step on it. There's
you can see the
curved.
circular curve,
but you know
you don't notice it though.
No. It's not so. You'd have to really look. You'd have to look for it, even knowing what it is to see it. But I'm hoping I can separate and not be like, how does this work? How does this work? How does
you
this work?
can. I didn't find myself doing that until I was like getting ready for bed. When the story's not happening, when I'm like laying down at 2 a.m. because I'm done with the day, I'm like, okay, so how did he do this, or how did this effect work? Every single technological effect is simple. You'll figure it out. You'll look at it. It's more of the just like the acting and the interaction. That stuff is like, how do they do that? That stuff is more insane to me than like the screen that I'm watching or that one effect that you see. That's like, oh, that's obviously that. Like
Here's another question that I had for you: are the characters like on the ship all night? Or do they disappear after a certain time?
Yeah, the Atrium is completely empty after like 11.
Okay.
At the latest. And that's
how late is the lounge open?
Lounge is done at 1.
Wow.
Sublight Lounge is closed at
late.
1. Yep. So we'll get to that, but I highly recommend you live in the Atrium and you live in the Sublight Lounge.
Okay.
Both.
The Sublight Lounge is where the bar is, right?
Yep. And that's right next to the Atrium. It's connected. Okay. So that's where you want to live anyway, the two places that are connected.
I didn't ask you this. Did you do the Sabacc?
I did not do the Sabacc tournament, but I played at the Hollow Table.
Was it impressive? The technology in it?
You can see how it works, and it doesn't.
Does it float?
It doesn't pop up like the concept art.
Oh, okay.
But when you're sitting at your seat, it looks like you can grab the card in front of you.
Oh, okay. So there's like a mirror or something.
As soon as you stand up, there's no floating card.
Gotcha.
But if you're sitting, you're like.
It looks like it's floating. It's an optical illusion. It looks like it's floating above.
You can figure out how it works too, though. Once
it's a mirror, I'm sure, like shining.
So the Sabacc
like
tournament,
an arcade kind of cabinet where it like flips it.
Basically, kind of. So the Sabacc tournament.
I don't know if people know that. When you look at an old school arcade machine, it's backwards. The monitor is face down.
Yeah, and you're looking at a panel of glass.
You're looking at a mirror.
Mirror, basically.
And you're watching. You're playing the reflection.
All these effects that have been around since the 60s and 70s are still being used today on the most experience or technologically advanced thing ever.
Like, but was it cool? Do you think it was cool? Sabacc?
Yeah. So
could you tell the difference in the colors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
how is the game different? Because I know it's Coruscant.
It's closer to
what's it called?
Spike. Coruscant Spike.
Coruscant.
Something like that. I think it's Spike.
Damn it.
So the card table itself, even if you've never played any version of Sabacc, it's really
Coruscant Shift.
That's what it is.
Shift. Shift. Coruscant Shift.
So even if you've never touched Sabacc in your life, the table itself is pretty intuitive.
Okay.
And I already knew how to play standard Sabacc, but I didn't know how to play Coruscant Shift.
How's it different?
But after like one round, I figured it out. Like it's basically blackjack to an extent.
But that's what Sabacc is, isn't it?
It's way more simplified. That's why they chose Coruscant Shift.
Okay,
so even people that don't know,
ass with some of those cards on sometimes the Sabacc.
Yep. So with this one, like there's no such thing as full Sabacc, or like you can't get that. Like
that's such a pain.
It makes it confusing, and there's no like a trump I win.
You don't know exactly. You don't know what's
Yeah, because if you watch Solo, like Han just throws it down, and you're like, what do you do? How do you win? But if it was Coruscant Shift, you'd be like, I get it.
It's like it reminds me of one of my favorite scenes from Austin Powers. When he's playing chess with the chick, and he does a move that isn't real.
Yeah, and she just goes with it. She looks at him like, what the heck are you doing? But she goes
so
with
funny. That's one of the things you have to know chess to know that that's like, you're like, idiot.
Austin knows chess. He can beat you in 3 moves.
Oh, I'm terrible at chess. I love playing it, but
average
I'm bad
at it. But he can just 3 moves.
I didn't know you played. We should play.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love chess. I need to get a chessboard.
I wish I
had. You know who's
some...
really good at chess? Johnny.
Oh, I could see it.
He's so smart
good at everything. He's just
so
good at
smart.
everything.
Yeah,
he's one of those
guys.
That's Austin. Austin's just good at everything.
I can see that. I'm not. Yeah.
You're good at most things, but Austin's good at everything.
Here's the thing. There's people that are really good at everything. And there's people like me who can do a lot of things.
You're a
just
jack
not
of all
that
trades.
Yeah, I just don't do anything very well. Yep, correct.
I don't know what I am. I don't think I'm anything.
The thing I'm best at is guitar, I think.
I would agree with that probably. Yeah. Dude, you and my dad need to get a band together. My dad...
Your dad play?
He's playing drums now.
What?
Within the past year, he picked up drums. And
That's
he's good
wild.
at it.
Really?
He's good. Like,
I guess your dad's one of those people, too.
Yeah.
That's where Austin gets it from.
So the sabacc table it's really cool. It is another one of those things where I'm like, why did you only build one of these? And why does it only have 4 seats? It's
dumb.
occupied most of the trip. I only played, I think, 20 games total. And each game is only 3 rounds. So a game takes like 5 minutes. So I only sat there for, what is that, 20 times 5? 100 minutes?
That's a long time. Hour
Which
and a
is
half.
actually a long time, but like...
Broken
there are
up
people
over
there,
2 days.
Yeah, and there are people there much longer than me that I was like, can I please play? You're just going to sit there all day. But
That's annoying.
Yeah, I don't know
should
why.
be like a 3-round limit per time you sit down.
Yeah, like you scan your band, and it's like, your time is up. Please let someone
You
have
can come back in 30 minutes.
That's what they should have done. It's that easy.
Yeah.
But
because I know Lynn didn't even get to play it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It was
every
fun.
time we went, it was
so it's
too
basically
crowded.
you want to hit 0, and you have negative cards and positive cards, and you draw 2 cards at a time. So if you have a -5 and a +5, you have 0. But then there's dice there too, and the dice roll. One says whatever number you want to get. So I lied. It's not 0. Sometimes you want to get -10 total. Sometimes you want to get 6 total, +6.
Oh, so it
whatever that
rolls
first dice says.
Okay, so the
is what
dice
you wanna
tells you
get.
what you're aiming for.
And then the other dice shows the suit of the card.
You should have brought your cards tonight. We could have played.
Dude, I want to start having sabacc nights. For
We should.
real. Like how people have poker nights.
Yeah, dude.
I want sabacc nights.
I'm here for it.
I'm serious.
I would love to do that.
So one shows the number you want to get, and another one, the other dice shows the suit you want to get if there's a tie. So let's say both of you and I both get -6, and that's the number we need. If the suit is the red triangle and you have red triangle and I have green square, you won.
Gotcha.
So you also want to have the suit, it says, and the number it says.
Interesting.
And it's that's it. That's all it is. It's that easy.
You don't win anything. It's just
No,
playing?
you don't win
Okay.
anything. It's just for the hell of it.
That would be
but-
gambling. I think they don't.
Yeah,
think
you
they
can't
can
do that. But the sabacc tournament was hosted in the dining hall. I never even watched it. I don't know.
So wait, I thought you said there's only one sabacc.
There's one table with a hologram, but the tournament is played with the analog cards.
Oh, interesting.
So and they
That's
play
really
with
stupid.
they play with the same ones you can buy. So it's like, hey, you just played with these. You should go buy them. Like I get it, and it's easier to have 50 tables of
That's true.
cards than 50 hologram tables.
Is it worth carving time out to do the hologram?
The table?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you're going to be in the lounge a lot. Yeah.
I will be.
Yeah. Going back, I think that's the one thing I would change.
Really?
Is live in the lounge.
Okay.
So we had the dinner. After this, we had a little bit of time. We got our shopping done. We thought we got our shopping done. So this is the best time to shop for a lot of reasons. The gift shop on the ship isn't open on day 3, like you said. But this is the only time where you have like...
that seems like a big missed opportunity.
It is. It should be day 3. It should be open day 3, because that's when I would have done it. Because I had like an hour of just crying.
I'm glad
in
I
the
told you
atrium.
that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. But the hour I was standing in the atrium crying, I could have been spending money. But I did the shopping here in the first part, or the end of day 1, and I think this might have caused me to miss some story elements. I think it did. I can't say for sure, but I was doing some shopping, and I think I missed some stuff.
See, I have the benefit of knowing what I'm wanting before I get there.
Yeah.
So I can just boom.
No, I did too. I walked in with this book here, and the cast member, we were the only people in the shop. We walked in, it was empty. The cast member's like, "What can we help you with?" And I was like, "Oh, I got a whole shopping list here." And they're like, "Okay, what do you want?" And I started naming it, and they just walked over and grabbed it.
That's
Walked
awesome.
Over and grabbed it, put it on the counter, I was like, "Are you my shopping carts now?"
I should have had you get that friggin' black magic band, dude. I wasn't
I know
thinking.
it wasn't. That one's on the ship. You can't get that one on Earth.
I know.
So yeah, you
God.
texted me on day 3.
I know, and I don't know why I didn't just have you grab
It'll
it.
still be there. They have plenty of them.
I'm
It's
sure,
not
but like it's
limited.
just that's one of those things that like if it's not there, I'm gonna be really pissed.
But that was one of the experiences with the cast members where I wrote their names down and I emailed compliments for them. I had an email that was literally, I think, 15 cast members. So I said, Bob did this, Johnny did this, and they were all amazing at this. Like, so and Disney responded like, "Thank you for your feedback." So
That's
like,
great.
These 15 cast members got a compliment.
That's great.
And they deserved it.
They
earned
do.
it.
Absolutely.
But they were amazing. And they were all in character. I forget our conversations, but it was like, on my planet, we have this, and I'm from here. And it didn't feel annoying. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And they said things. I was like, that's really cool. And like they saw what we were wearing. They're like, oh, you're with the First Order. And, oh, yeah, I remember. We're like, yeah. And they're like, we got to be careful with them. And I was like, well, the First Order's not all a bunch of evil people that, they're not all bad. Some of us just want peace and order, and other ones are more whatever. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. We're glad you're more on this side that wants peace and order. And
not all Nazis are bad.
Yeah, basically. Not all space Nazis. So later this night, we have our lightsaber training, which is just as bad as the commercials. This is the only thing the commercials showed accurately.
I feel like they completely butchered.
They did
the marketing for this.
They did. Because
I haven't been on it, but
I've
just
been
the
on
vibe
the bridge.
I'm getting
I've been
of
in
it.
the Sublight Lounge. None of it. I've been in the hallway where the little kid separates from Anne Morrow Johnson. And that hallway looks nothing like that. And the place he goes isn't even in that hallway.
That doesn't. That's just how a commercial works.
Right. It's the structure.
They don't want to show you
like,
certain things.
But
they should be talking up. You choose your story.
Yeah.
Because but the problem is they did that with Batu and it didn't pan out that way.
And now they can't say it because people will be like,
that's
what you said last time.
This time we mean it.
Yeah, we promise for real. No.
But they should be leaning into like they should come out like, hi, I'm Scott Trowbridge, and we were going to talk a little bit what you can experience, like a 3-minute video.
Yeah.
You can be a smuggler. You can be a part of the First Order. You can be a First Order sympathizer. You can be part of the Resistance. Yeah. And each of these stories intertwine and all have their own individual outcomes. People will be like, what? And no, for real.
They have their own individual outcomes, but they also come
together
at the end. Or just tell people you're going to be watching a movie with VR goggles. Because that's what it is.
To me, they've used that like you're living your Star Wars adventure. It's like
that's the problem.
You've used that too much.
You've hit so many buzzwords that now they're meaningless.
Exactly.
And
I think they really need to go back to the drawing board with this and start from scratch. Because now that I've seen some stuff and heard from people, it totally seems like that first initial video just doesn't make any sense.
No. Even the videos that we watched that were like people hated, but we were like, this is fine. Those videos now looking back were terrible.
See,
I'm like, this video did nothing for this. They shouldn't have done that.
Why would you invest all the money? I've heard like hundreds of millions of dollars for this thing. Why would you invest all of that money and then not show the reason you're going, which is to do these things like literally have your own Star Wars, like you're truly making your own Star Wars story.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this was such a hard thing for them to market.
They could tell the story in 3 different movies because there's 3 different stories going on. And because I saw the First Order perspective of this movie, but you could do a smuggler perspective of this movie and a Resistance perspective of this movie.
That's nuts.
Like you could how initially they wanted to do a Han and Boba Fett 2 different movies, but have one scene that was from both perspectives. Yeah. You could do that, but for 3 separate whole movies from this story. Yeah, I do understand, but whoever came up with first off this idea of being a cruise makes so much sense, and it's the easiest way to keep it in a controlled environment with a controlled number of guests. Mm-hmm. Whoever that Imagineer was deserves something. He needs a promotion, a raise.
I think keeping it small is a smart move too. I haven't been on it yet, but it seems just how hard and intimate this is.
It's so small.
So do you each get your own data pad?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And you don't have to use both of them if you didn't want to.
So like a family could use one.
If you want to have the exact same story,
gotcha.
You can only use one.
That makes sense.
But if you and Tom want to do different things and interact with different characters, you need both.
I bet
you do.
I think we should.
Yeah. And
so
I bet
we can
will
veer off
and should.
And have other things. Like, I didn't see that. You know what I mean? And we can have I truly wish he would go smuggler. So we have the First Order perspective.
Yeah.
The Resistance one, which is something I'm not going to budge on. Because I
could see him doing smuggler. But I don't know. I think you're going to like the smuggler.
Really?
I think you're going to like Wraith a lot.
Okay.
I think he's your guy. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But so the lightsaber training is just a knockoff of both Savi's and Jedi Training Academy Temple, whatever it's called. It's a knockoff of both of those things, and it's done worse than both of those
How is
things.
the shield?
Stupid.
Does everybody get to hold the lightsaber?
Yes.
Okay.
But the shields are dumb.
Really?
So you rotate. The person in the front of the line gets the saber. The people behind that person get the shields.
What's the shield for? Do you also deflect
the
other
blaster
stuff?
bolts too? Yeah. If they miss, you deflect the blaster bolt. But they don't miss too often because it's so easy. And
so you're holding the shield doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. After the first 10 seconds of holding the shield, I just stood there with it at my hip, just holding it. Like, this is my face, just that resting. You know what?
How long does it take?
Too long.
Really?
It felt like an hour, but I think it was 30 minutes.
Oh Christ!
And I was
Dude, how do you screw
upset.
up holding a lightsaber?
Well, because it's just a neopixel. It's not a real lightsaber. So they should have just been like, this is a fake lightsaber. It's not the real thing because like
I'm surprised they didn't do that because why? Did they explain how they got a lightsaber?
No, it's not mentioned at all. Like it's not.
But that doesn't make any sense.
What they should have done
is they got it from Doc.
That, or what they should have done is they give you a VR headset and call it like Luke's blaster shield that he wears, and you can see through that headset the motion and
like
the blade.
You try to tap into the Force.
They're like, you're using the Force. You can see it without seeing it, and you'd be like, yes, but nah.
That would be really cool, actually.
I know, but
that's a very smart idea.
I know
because that video with Josh Tomorrow again.
It's just like that video.
And they, from what I'm hearing from you, you've told me this off the podcast, but this was by far the worst thing on the cruise.
Yes, not a question.
So why would you show the worst thing on the cruise?
Because, like you said, it's what everyone wants to do. But so they tried to show it, but it's the worst thing.
But here's
so
the
don't
thing.
show it.
Like, just don't talk about it. Like, cool, let that be an additional thing you do.
Yeah.
But there's no way they saw that and were like, perfect. Like, there's no way.
No, there's no way. Because it's just like that. Watching him duck and duck.
It's a. If you haven't seen the video, did they take that one down too?
No, but they should have. They took the best one down.
Who was in control of this?
I don't know.
They need to have Lucasfilm do the marketing for this because Lucasfilm's marketing is fantastic typically.
Yep.
And this, I really think they dropped the ball, and it's going to come. It might come back to bite them in the ass.
Now, like the lightsaber training room and they call the teachers of the training, they call them sajas. They're awesome. The room's awesome. They're important to the story. If you follow that story, you come back to that room later. It's like, oh, that's good. It's great. Like you did great with that. But like the lightsaber training itself. Don't do it or do it better. One of the two. We don't need what we have.
Gotcha.
When I go back, I'm skipping it 100%, using it to do more food, a part of the story I missed, sleep. I don't know.
I'm torn on it too, but I think I have to do it.
You should do it just to see it.
Okay.
But maybe ahead of time ask if you can leave during it if you want to.
Okay.
So you have that out if you want to. Because I didn't ask, and I didn't want to just like walk out in the middle of it. It was one of those where like I feel like I need to stay, but I don't know.
Oh, man. So do you go with your just a group of people or just random?
It's random. You're assigned on your data pad. It says when to go. So it's not even the same group you've been doing your First Order story or Resistance story with. It's just people.
That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it should have been.
It could be a bonding experience.
Yeah, yeah. So these things could be fixed though. Over time.
It can be
hopefully
tweaked.
within the 5 years.
And again, if we're complaining just about it not being as good as everything else, I think that's
it's
not even complaining. It's just critiquing.
Out of a 40-hour experience, 30 minutes of it sucked.
There you go.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So that was
How much does that 30 minutes cost, though?
A lot.
A couple $100.
$5,000 for 40 hours. 40. So that's like over $100 an hour. So that's over 50 for 30 minutes.
You paid $50 to play. Would you pay $50 to do that again?
Nope.
Damn.
Jeez. So that's basically like the last event that I can say for night one.
Okay.
This is a
that's fine.
It's a long podcast, but we're still rolling.
That's okay. We might not just do a top 10 this week.
That's okay.
That's fine.
We need time for that.
Yeah.
So the next morning, you get up and you get on your droid communication link here. D309 pops up and talks about the cool excursion to Batuu. And I won't say that part.
So hang on. So when you wake up, so
it's best to do.
Is it structured? Like I know it's structured where like 7 o'clock to this. Is it that rigid?
No, not at all. And all the in a lot of the videos that a lot of people have made fun of and stuff, like, look, it's line dancing and look, it's space bingo. It's like those things are happening in the Atrium if you want to go do them, but that's only for like the mom and the little kid that are exhausted and don't want to go do this mission. I didn't even witness the line dancing myself. I know it happened because I've seen other people's video.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that.
If you ask me, it didn't happen because I didn't see it. So like, and the space bingo, I never saw it. So
yeah, I don't. All that stuff I think it's like for kids and
but
stuff.
It's there for the people that are tired or don't want to be in the story for
or
10 minutes.
Like don't care about Star Wars and stuff for them to do. Again.
Yeah, so you're not paying for that. People need to calm down. Like I'm not there for that.
If you're gonna get to this, just say you'll get to it in a second. Did you see like the I forget what they call it, the room that's like the engine room or whatever?
Yeah, the engineering room.
Engineering room.
Yeah.
Did you get to see that? Was that day one?
Okay, like all.
Don't tell me what goes on in there, but is it cool?
All the rooms do open up within day one through your missions. Like you have access denied for these rooms when you board the ship, but as you start doing missions,
for real,
things open up, and it's like a freaking video game. Yeah, yeah.
So you can't just walk into the engineering room.
Not off the jump.
Whoa.
Yeah, you got to unlock it.
Whoa.
So eventually we got in there, but right off the bat, no. So you see, like the only thing structured, or like your dinner time is now. Your shuttle Tuba 2 is now. Your
That's not
lightsaber training is now.
You can't adjust any of that stuff.
You can get on a different shuttle Tuba 2.
Okay.
You can do it. But really everything else is like, if you have saber training now,
just get it out of the way.
But now I know that it sucks. I'm not going to go to saber training next time.
You won't do it again for real?
No, never doing it again.
Okay.
But like bridge training, you got to do that. Don't skip that. That's another thing that's like 4 p.m. bridge training. You got to go. You have to go. That's one of the highlights.
Does it set like reminders up for everything?
Yes.
Okay.
You get notifications that say an event is happening in the Atrium, or
your
bridge training is it gives you notifications, alerts. D309 reminds you all the time.
How far does it take to like walk from one end to the other?
Oh, no. Less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
Less than 5 minutes for sure.
Cool.
So you get on the droid communication pad. She's all talking about Batuu. We're orbiting Batuu now. Your shuttle leaves here. Make sure you visit Oga's Cantina and buy blue milk. And like, she's a little preachy. Like, that's where she gets annoying too. It's like, you're an advertisement, okay? We
got it. Okay.
Yeah, she's a little preachy.
Hey, make sure you stop by the milk. And if you need some knickknacks, make sure you go to the Tordarian Toy Shop.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Like
you basically just wrote her dialogue. That's really how she is.
Really?
Yeah.
Crap.
So I don't want to say that part. So we went back to the shop to knock off a few things and to ask about the sleeping bag, blanket, orange thing that's on the bed, if that's for sale. They said it's not for sale right now. They said we don't have it right now, so I think it's coming. If it's there when you go on your trip, I'm sending you all the money for it.
Okay.
Like, I want that blanket. It's awesome.
I'll have to.
It's like a sleeping bag, but you don't have to get inside it, and it's thick, and it looks awesome. You should buy it for yourself.
I'm going to. I need to buy one for Lynn too.
Yeah. So if it does get there, well, you can only get 2 per cabin.
Tom will be there.
I
don't think he said he don't think he wanted one.
Okay.
So one of us will get it for you.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. I have to give it to Lynn for reasons.
Yeah. And this one I asked about I won't say the name of the cast member, but I will say the story of this medallion because I said it on my YouTube even. So like, I asked about that.
Don't say it here.
No.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Just because of. Yeah.
Okay. So then I asked when the shop closed to make sure. Night 1 and night 2 it closes at 11. So
but you did get a opening day medallion. We can say that.
Yeah. Yep. It's the coolest thing I got.
So that isn't for Captain's Table. That was only for the maiden voyage.
From what I've gathered, yes.
That's annoying.
Yeah, it's only from the maiden voyage.
Damn it.
And yeah, so it's not Captain's Table. And when I was at dinner, I was looking on the table and at the seats and people's hands. I didn't see anybody pick up a coin or medallion or interact or act like they got something cool. So I don't think it was there.
Oh, well. No, I'm not doing it for the medallion, so it's okay.
Which that's the coolest thing in my entire merchandise. Like, I would trade everything I bought for that thing.
Thing's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to steal it? Yes.
You're never coming back to my house.
Remember we used to steal stuff from each other's house?
Yeah. Let's make that a thing again. But one of the...
I stole a book and you didn't even see.
A full book. I don't know how you did that.
A whole big book. You didn't even see it.
You should have kept it. You should have kept it because it wasn't mine.
Yeah, I know, but I'm glad I didn't.
Right? You'd be sued probably by now. Taken to court. So I heard one of the cast members in the shop mention that somewhere in his backstory, it came up organically, he was from Braca. And I'm like,
no way.
Tom would love you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's from Braca. So then we get on our launch pod to go down to Batuu. My worst nightmare is true. There are no physical RX droids on any launch pods.
Whamp, whamp.
Now, the launch pod is piloted by an RX droid, and you do get to hear its voice, and it's not a female droid like the concept art said it was going to be.
Oh, boo.
So there goes any plan for it being DJ Rex's girlfriend.
That's upsetting.
That sucks.
But
he was cool. He was cool. He was fun. Like, it wasn't Paul Rubin's voice, but it was a similar voice, and it was modulated to sound just like that same style. But he wasn't called RX something. He was called J6. I wrote it down. Where did I write it down? J6 something. But he was still cool. He was funny. His dialogue was funny. He had like cool things to say about Batuu. He was fun.
Cool. And this is the thing I was most curious about on this whole thing. How did they pull that off? Do you feel like you're in a truck?
Like, you feel the movement like a truck would move, but it feels also like a spaceship would
Does
be
it
moving
turn?
like this. It does, because I know the route it takes.
See, I haven't seen the route it takes.
You don't feel it.
Can you tell when you're going to check in, like the route?
Yes.
Okay.
But when you're on the ship, you don't know, or the truck, whatever you want to call it, you don't know where you're on that route.
Okay.
You can't tell. It's like, oh, the door opened. I'm here. I thought I was sitting here for 5 minutes and it was shaking.
Is it themed well inside?
Very well.
Can you hear the truck engine and stuff?
Nope.
Interesting. Okay.
Now they have like a.
So it's truly immersive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
If I didn't know,
you
it
don't
was
see
a
like
box
the light
truck,
from the outside.
No, nothing.
So does it pull up to a covered? Can you tell?
Yeah, it's basically like so you board it on the Halcyon through a jet bridge like you would going on the Falcon, and it actually uses the same background noises as the Falcon jet bridge.
Okay.
So it sounds just like it. So if you've already done the Falcon, it already is tricking your mind to be like, oh yeah, I've been on a Star Wars jet bridge. It sounds.
Gotcha.
That's how they sound.
Okay.
And then you go through this jet bridge, and the door is right up against the wall, so like it just slides open, and you don't see anything but a door sliding open. You get inside. It kind of looks and feels a lot like the scene in Rogue One when Jyn is on that transport on Wobani. When K2 busts in and says, "Congratulations, you're being rescued. Do not resist."
Do not resist.
Yeah, it's that. It feels and looks just like that. But so I mean, I know that's not a spaceship, but it feels like that and designed like that. It looks like it. It only has 6 seats in it.
How long does it
I lied.
take?
It has 12 seats. Sorry, 3, 3, 3, 3, and in between are the 2 doors. But they load
There's
you
2
in
doors?
there. Yeah. So they load you in there.
Weird.
Like a Disney bus,
So
though. If the
is it-
seats are taken, you stand and you hold on.
So is it 2 separate entrances to 2 separate places, or the compartment's the same?
The compartment is the same. It's just you enter from the
Like the
Halcyon
front and the back.
to one door, and it's side to side. So you enter the Halcyon into the shuttle from one door, and then you would exit Batu out the other door.
Oh, okay. So
Straight
and
across.
in and outdoor.
And then opposite coming back. Batu
Gotcha.
into the shuttle, back into the Halcyon.
Gotcha.
From right to left, left to right.
Okay, so there's doors on either side.
And they both
Gotcha.
just butt up right up against the wall, flush.
Sorry, I mean when you said 2
And
doors,
then-
I thought you meant there were 2 openings to walk in,
Oh, no.
like 2 doors side by side.
Right.
Okay.
No,
so
they're,
it's
yeah.
like
across
Rise,
from
the
each other.
transport shuttle on Rise.
Yes,
You go in one.
except
In
both the
theory, you would
doors
think you'd
function.
open. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we get out.
That was my knee.
I thought that was a couch.
Did I just pull a ligament?
So there's some cool signs in Arabic and stuff. I translated a little bit of them already, but one just says like Oga's Cantina, and it says stuff about Oga's on there, which is cool. Because I've seen some people stupidly complain, because I guess they didn't pay attention, that the launch pod to the Halcyon is super fancy and luxurious, but then the launch pod to Batu is like dirty like the Falcon. And I'm like, that's the point.
Yeah, it's run by Batu. You said, right?
Yeah,
So
they even tell you on the ship multiple times that this launch pod is owned and operated by
so
Batu.
it's 2 different launch pods.
Yes. The one that you check in and check
Oh.
out is owned by the Halcyon, so it's shiny and pretty. And then the one that's owned by Batu.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you said. I thought you meant the 1 2 Batu was nice. One coming
no,
back.
no.
Okay.
No,
okay. I
those
see,
are both
I
owned
see
and
what you're saying.
operated
The
by
one
Batu.
to launch up to the Halcyon. Then
Yep.
when you're on, you go to Batu. Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but people didn't pay attention. And they're
Why
like,
would-
this is too dirty to be the Starcruiser. It's like, because it's not the
It's
Starcruiser.
run by Batu. They said
Yep.
that. I even
And-
heard you say that.
And even J6 says it. He's like, we're run by Batu or Black Spire Outpost Transport or something like that. So it's like,
So who runs these?
do you want me to tell you? Or
Is it part of the story?
no,
Yeah, tell me. Tell
Well,
me if you don't hear.
it's-
Skip ahead.
I don't want to tell you this part. But
Is it a
the-
character that's already on Batu?
Yeah, so the
Okay.
transports themselves are
Hondo?
owned and operated by Oga.
Oh, okay.
And I won't tell you Oga's involvement with something else,
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
Oga's around.
Okay.
So you can use the mobile order on the My Disney Experience app on your cell phone to order these dining credits. They're already like
sweet.
plugged in your app, your phone, and you can do 2 different restaurants. I ordered a Ronto and a Coruscant cooler from Ronto Roasters.
Because you get an alcoholic drink.
Yep, included alcoholic drink.
That's cool.
And Taylor got the Felucian Garden spread, I think, from Docking Bay,
7.
and her favorite drink from there, which is the Takodana Quencher.
I love the Surly Sarlacc.
That's probably my favorite now that I've had all 3.
I love it.
That's mine. She doesn't like that one, but I like it. So that was what we got from there. But our first mission was we went straight from the transport to Oga's for our reservation that we got separately from the Starcruiser. Like you said, I went to Oga's while I was on the Starcruiser. So you get a mission, whichever side you choose. All 3 sides have something that you do at Oga's.
Does it include a reservation at Oga's?
No.
Okay, so you can't get a drink while you're in there?
No. I don't think
That's
you really even
stupid.
get to go inside. I think most of it is you just talk to the cast member at the door.
That's dumb.
They give you your
Let me
mission,
go
you
inside.
move on.
That's stupid.
Yeah, so that's why I got the reservation, to guarantee I go inside.
I don't need to drink, but it'd be cool to have the option to like. I wouldn't do it even if I could go.
Yeah.
But for people who haven't been before and can't get a reservation,
Can you imagine
that would be
that would like cap off your voyage. You went to Oga's, you did the Falcon, you did Rise, you did all. So I did write the droid's name down, J6F8. Like I said, it only plays his audio, and he's a male. But he does say he's DJ Rex's good friend, and that's
cool.
I was like all sad because he wasn't really there, but when he said that, I was like, all right, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
So we get to Oga's. We had Brittany as our server, and she was awesome. So she saw our pin, she saw our data pads, she figured out what was going on, and like she gave us our first round of drinks, and like we hadn't even touched them, and she came back and she's like, "Can I get you guys anything else?" And like didn't wink, but like gave us that look, and I'm too stupid. I'm like, "No, we're good. We have everything." And she's like, "Are you sure you guys don't need anything else?" And I'm like, "We're good. Like maybe our check in a little bit." And she goes, "No, I think I have something for you." And I was like, "Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah." So she like slides her hand across the table here, and it's just on top of it. I've already seen the pictures because I wanted to make sure I got it. But I knew it was a coaster. But she, like, slides across a normal coaster. And I was a little confused. And she's like, just be careful of that coaster or something, like, and walks away. And I was like, okay. So I pick up the normal coaster. And under it, she stashed 3 of these fancy coasters.
Okay. So
because you're on, like, a secret mission.
Do the coasters have... Oh, so... Okay, so...
That's why she, like, hid it
the coaster
under a
has something to do with the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all 3 stories, too.
Okay.
I didn't see the other 2 sides, but I know everyone had a Oga's mission.
Okay.
So I know they all go get a coaster.
Okay.
So our mission was
I love the coasters like a thing with Oga's.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
it.
How about we get some more coasters then? It's been around for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll happen. They probably bought 10 million, and once they get through that 10 million, they'll
and that's
change
why they
the
give them
designs
away
up.
now. They
Yeah.
throw them at you too.
Yeah.
Have you been there when they throw them at you?
Yeah. Remember when they first got it was like,
yeah,
we'll bring you one extra.
Yeah, or if they saw you taking yours that you used, they would be upset.
Yeah.
Like that happened to me too. I'm like, this is wet. Like, do you want a dirty wet?
You're gonna throw it out.
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah.
So we did the Oga's mission after like 20, 25 minutes with our drinks. We were in and out somewhat fast. Usually I stay a whole hour.
They should do a hard Oga's coaster set. That'd be
Yes.
really cool.
Yes, like they did on the Halcyon, which I bought.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Sorry.
You're good. So we did our Oga's mission. Right next door was the Falcon, so we did our Falcon mission. I will say it's not as big as any of us wanted, but there is like a Halcyon part to the Falcon.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it Hondo?
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, but like it's like, okay, you recognize I'm part of the Halcyon.
That's cool.
That's all
I want. I just want to.
Yeah.
It's your magic band.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your magic band.
So that happened.
But that also means they installed magic band readers on the Falcon.
Yep.
So like to think like I know people are gonna like I know people are still being whatever people who haven't gone are still like kind of crapping on it. But you have to understand that like they had to go in and like do things like this that cost money. Like
yeah. And we had so many questions. We're like, so how does this play into like if you're the First Order, why would you go steal coaxium from the First Order?
Does it explain it?
It does, but it's like the simplest answer that we all already said and like came up with. It's
what
just
was
like,
it?
It's just like Hondo steals it, and you're there as a part of the First Order, and
to
you
steal
see
it back,
and you see it happen. So then you go tell the First Order. Be like,
gotcha.
Be like, yes, I was there. Hondo did take it on the Falcon. We got to get him.
Interesting.
It's like
okay.
that. It's just that.
You're Tattletale.
Yeah.
You're a rat.
Yeah.
How dare you?
That's what we do. Part of the First Order, man. I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but we both got pilot on the Falcon, and
you better.
We were the only Halcyon members on this cockpit. So
no offense to the people who are paying to go on vacation, but if spending
you're paying
that,
to go
I
more,
better be pilot, and I will wait.
And how it works for Rise and the Falcon is you just go in the lightning lane, and then you get boarded with just guests. Like you're not only with Halcyon members.
Makes sense.
But you go through a lightning lane for both attractions.
Cool.
So we did the Falcon's mission. We jumped over to Rise. Rise was down for a second, and I was really worried.
What happens in that scenario? Did they just act like you wrote it?
No. There's something built in the data pad.
Okay.
Which we almost had to use. So I'm glad we didn't, but I got to see that there is an option for if it breaks down. But thankfully it didn't. We did Rise. I wrote it down. Our whole excursion was it was like 3.5 hours, counting going to Oga's.
Sweet. Okay.
And we actually ate at Docking Bay. We didn't get our food to go.
Did you feel like you did a lot of different stuff on Batu?
Yes, and we chose to not do a mission, which didn't fit our storyline. It was because we did lightsaber training. The Sajas were asking us to do something, and I'm like, I'm First Order. I'm not.
I don't want to go back there.
Well, that too. No. But they were asking us to do something on Batu, and I'm like, I'm first order. I'm not helping you guys.
That makes sense.
In hindsight, though, I missed the big thing which
that
you
I told
asked
you
me
about.
And in hindsight, I wish I did that mission because I would have got to see that thing.
I told you.
Yeah. I've seen...
You'll one day learn to listen to me.
But it didn't fit my story.
Doesn't
I was
matter,
not doing
dude.
it.
I'm not going to ruin it for what it is for people on here. We'll talk about it once me and Tom do it.
Yeah,
but
and I watched...
Tom knows what it is too, but
I've
I
seen
still
a
want to ruin
picture of
anybody.
it, but I still haven't watched the video.
I watched the video,
I want to see it
and I
for
asked
real.
Lynn if it was...
that convincing.
And he goes, that's not even close.
So
it's not even close.
That's probably the only effect that you look at and you can't figure out.
He doesn't. He's
a genius.
He's a legitimate genius.
Yeah.
And knows technology.
Yeah.
And has no idea how they did it.
Every other effect on the ship, you and I can figure out. But
Okay.
that thing, man.
I don't need to be wowed by illusions. I just
I don't either.
I want to have a cool, convincing experience.
And that's what they all are. They're all Haunted Mansion level.
Yeah. No one rides
things.
on a mansion and goes yawn, boring, old.
Right? We all go, whoa, how does that work? Even
My
though we
kids
know how it works.
still, and it's 50 years old, and
Yeah.
my kids are still like, what is how? And I'm like.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you? Like,
Yeah,
Bentley's starting to get to the age where I'm like, do you want me to tell you? Because he's
Yeah.
liking science. And I'm like,
Yes.
trying to push him in that direction.
Yes,
Like, that's
be
a
an
good.
Imagineer Bentley.
Yeah, I think that could be he's very creative.
Yeah, he is.
He's very
He really is.
creative.
And
He's starting to get, like, he likes science a lot.
yeah,
And I'm really trying to foster
that's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
So we got B mode Kylo on Rise of the Resistance. Everything else worked except the guns, but I've written them off. They're done.
They'll come back when they do, like, to be fair, the ride has not had a downtime the way every other attraction has a scheduled downtime.
And it can't now, especially with the Starcruiser.
I know.
Open.
That's
Can you
the
imagine
problem.
now if they're like, it's going to be shut down for 3 months? We'd be like, but I'm on the Starcruiser. What are you going to do? Like,
that they're just going to have to, like, work overtime with the
Yeah.
maintenance team and get it working overnight because you're going to you can't not have that going.
yeah.
Especially if it ties into. So, okay, here's another thing. So if you're on the first order, how does that story make sense?
Well, it's actually pretty big. It's the same thing with the Falcon, where it's just like you witnessed this happen and you saw the good guy do something, so you tell the bad guy. But like he asks you a lot of questions about it, like because like I said, the data pad is like
So
texting.
do you have to tell them about Picara?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
yeah,
cool.
it's cool. They give you a couple options, so you don't have to tell them. But that's the one I said. I'm like, yep, Picara. They have a base on Picara. And do you want me to tell you what like he says, or should I hold off?
Does it ruin anything? I'm not going first
No,
order.
it doesn't ruin anything.
Okay, tell me. Tom, if you don't want to hear this, fast forward 15 seconds.
Lieutenant
30
Troy
seconds.
responds. He's like, "Oh, we were unaware of a base on that planet," and like that's basically it. But it's like we didn't know. We'll look into that. So I'd imagine they go and blow it up or something because it doesn't affect the movie. Like Leia's not on the base.
Yeah.
But like, well, she is in terms of the ride. But I'm sure after the ride happens, she gets out. I'm sure she's like, "Nope, I'm gone."
So does that play into anything? Just yes or no? Does it play into anything? If you rat them out and tell them Picara, does that play out in any way?
Not in a big way. It's just more info for Croy.
Gotcha.
And Croy's character is just like what all Imperial and First Order officers are. They're like, do whatever it takes to better myself and improve my rank.
Interesting.
So his story
He's like a
is just all
Thrawn
about
almost.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I love him. His character is awesome.
Sweet. Okay.
He was the most fun. The bridge and him are like the two highlights, and Guy at dinner. Those are the three best parts of the entire experience, and then the finale, of course. So we got back to our cabin around 1 and spent like 5 minutes there, just dropped some stuff off, dropped off our Oga stuff and all that. Went straight to the dining hall to get more food after we just ate at Docking Bay at 12:30 to get more food. Lunch was okay. Like they have some of the Docking Bay 7 food. That's their lunch.
They have Ronto?
No Ronto.
Damn.
They had that like what's it called? The Kadu ribs.
Kadu ribs.
Those are pretty good. Those were good. They had that. I ate a few of those. Okay, skip that part. So next we have. Okay, we had a little bit of downtime, so we kind of roamed around the atrium, roamed around the bridge, and I'm still glad we bought the photo pass session, but you really kind of don't need it because if you're out roaming around and there's nothing going on, we had multiple cast members come up to us and see we're taking pictures.
I'm surprised you did it. I mean, I know you're you.
And I went. They look better.
They look
They're
better for sure.
Such better quality.
But like,
but
on a
I'm so glad we
if you
did.
got an iPhone, like,
Yeah. She has the newest iPhone. We were using Taylor's phone,
and
but
it just didn't look
it's
the
still a
same?
step up. It's still.
I mean, it definitely is. Those
and it was just fun.
They use Nikon.
It was
Like
fun having parts of the ship to ourselves for like
that's really,
5 minutes.
That's pretty cool too. Yeah, that's
because it was a 30-minute session. We went to 6 different locations.
Damn, that's it. I thought she said it was an hour on the phone.
No, it's 30. But it felt like it was worth it. I did not feel like it was a waste of time or not enough.
They take you like all around the ship?
Yeah,
I've only seen a few of your photos because I
haven't posted any yet. Taylor's posted all of them.
Yeah.
But I'm slowly posting over time. She's kind of doing like, here's everything. And I'm like, well, I want to have things to post over time.
Yeah.
Like, we went to 6 different locations around the entire ship and took 10 photos. That's what it works out. I don't know. I didn't count exactly, but it's 60 photos total. So around 10 photos per location.
Okay.
And the cast members were really cool, really informative. They were in universe.
They just scanned your band like normal?
Yeah, and it took a week to get to our band. And they told us that, too. They said this won't show up for about a week.
They like touch them up or anything?
Yeah, a little bit. You can tell. Yeah, so
color correct and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. Okay, that's fair.
yeah, it's worth it, though. So
Yeah, if they're putting that much
worth
effort into it, it's not just click,
But
scan,
if you're
thank
looking
you.
to save money so you can buy a lightsaber or something, then I would say don't do it because
I would say don't do it, too, because you can, like you said, you have your phone, and that's what you're going to look at.
we had a lot of not a lot of free time, but the little bit of free time we had here on the Atrium and the bridge, several cast members came up to us and asked to take pictures of us for us. We didn't go to them either. We didn't say, hey, can you do this? They just came up and they're like, would you like some help? This spot's good over here. Or let me take you in this. Like, they were good.
Cool.
All the cast members on the ship were amazing.
Was it a trained PhotoPass person?
Yes, we had 2. So
2?
one is taking the pictures with the camera, and the other one is holding a lighting apparatus.
No kidding.
To
okay.
play with the light.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's fair.
I think it's worth it.
For that, yeah. For 2 people there for... I mean, it's still
If you
expensive.
like pictures. But
yeah,
if you're
I
like
have
you,
no interest.
Yeah, I
have
would
no
never
interest
see you
doing
doing it.
No,
I would say you're wasting your money.
Yeah,
if you did
100%.
it.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. For me, though, it's worth it. So then we
You
went
love
to-
pictures more than like you like Ogas.
They're up there. I go to Batu for Ogas and pictures.
Dude, I remember one time I went with you and just met up with you on Batu, and you're like, hey, man, and you were talking to the photographer, and he's like, hey, Evan. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Lily. I know Lily. Lily.
Yeah.
Whenever I see her, she's the best one.
It's hilarious. You're like, ah.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, Evan.
So we had a little bit more downtime. We went to the Sublight Lounge, but this is day 2. If you're gonna go to the Sublight Lounge only once, like one night, day 1 is the better night because the characters are there that night.
Just chilling out, hanging
Being acting like they're actually there. Just like
are there
grabbing
any
a drink.
walk around characters like in costume, like aliens and stuff? I know that.
Yeah.
I know the keyboardist is there.
There's 2. Yeah.
And they just interact with guests, just talk.
Yeah.
How do you
And
hear them?
They don't carry around alcohol, but they have drinks that look like alcohol, and they're drinking out of the same glasses too. So it looks like they're drinking, and like
No kidding.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Wraith all the time. He's constantly drinking something, so it looks like he's kind of drunk, but he's not.
That's hilarious.
I told somebody today I could see Wraith being played by like Johnny Depp if they did a movie. I think.
Oh, really?
I think he'd be a good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Wraith we had wasn't a Johnny Depp level not. I shouldn't say level of actor, but type of actor.
Well, not many people are.
He was
Depp
closer.
level.
I'm not saying level
You just mean like-
of skill. I'm saying like type in terms of how he acted. He was closer to like. He's not as good as Harrison Ford, but he was like Harrison
Stoic
Ford-esque.
kind of. Okay.
Yeah, but there's different actors. I think there's like 3 per role, so you could get a different Wraith. But I could see Johnny Depp playing him if they did a movie.
God, that would be exhausting.
But go to the Atrium and Sublight Lounge all nights, but definitely night 1. We
Okay.
missed night 1, and I think we lost a lot of character interaction because we
Really?
didn't even know to go that
Okay.
night. I was like, oh, we'll grab drinks tomorrow night. We got this going on now, so we
See,
didn't
my
go.
plan is when we go, and I don't know what Tom's plan is, but I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of this individually. My plan is to put stuff like go to the room, check that out, do that kind of stuff, film walkthroughs,
Yeah.
and I'm going to spend the rest of the night hanging.
Yep.
And doing just the story
That's exactly how you want to do day 1.
Yeah.
That's how you do day 1.
And
then
shopping when I first get there. Like,
Yep,
I'm
that's
gonna,
day
I'm,
1.
I'm going to shop and
Shop,
take 15,
film,
20 minutes to shop,
drink.
film, drink.
That's day 1.
That's what I'm gonna
100%.
do.
Day 2 is story. Do nothing but story. And then day 3 is cry and go home. I can't tell you some of the story stuff here.
Yes, please don't. You want anything to drink?
No, I'm good for now.
You sure?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we had bridge training at this point in day 2. So bridge training is the same for everybody for bridge training. That's the keyword here is bridge training. So you go in there, and this is the part that's 100% Disney Quest. This is insane. It reminds me of
Is
the
this
Pirates.
where you're shooting the TIE fighters that we've seen?
No.
Okay.
No. So this is like the Pirates of the Caribbean game. You remember how like you were on a ship and each one that you all had stations and yeah.
One was
That's
one
that,
person
but Star
was
Wars.
was the captain. The other people like
basically yeah. That's that this is that but Star Wars. And it's like, it's amazing. The bridge training alone was awesome. But then you go back to the bridge later and it's not training.
Gotcha.
I don't want to say anything else.
I've seen the TIE Fighter. I think people who've seen the videos have seen the history.
Yeah. So
how does that work if you're First Order?
Well, we didn't shoot TIE Fighters.
Gotcha.
So I didn't know we go back to the bridge later. I got off bridge training and I was like, that was awesome. But then later in the day, I went and saw other people on the bridge and they were shooting like TIE Fighters and like doing like different things than I did. And I was like, and they had different characters in there and not different in terms of the story. I'm like, we didn't have our First Order guy. We had just like the captain. I was like, okay, we had the captain. Why did they get, for example, let's just say it was Chewbacca. I'm like, why did they get Chewbacca? We didn't get that.
And it has to do with the story?
It turns out everyone gets bridge training, but every faction goes back to the bridge to help out their faction. So I was mad. I was like FOMO, you know, like I was like, that's not cool. I had average plain bridge training and you guys are in there hanging out with Han Solo, you know, like what the heck?
Not really Han Solo.
Not Han, but I'm saying like there was a character.
But yeah.
You know, I'm not going to spoil, but I'm like, why do you get
a known
characters?
Character?
Huh?
A known character?
Kind of.
Okay.
I won't say anymore, but like
okay.
I was very, very upset, like to the point where I was going to ask, like, did we just miss something? Did we go to the wrong bridge? But then later in the day, we were hanging out in the Atrium, and like we got a message on the datapad from our Lieutenant Croy saying that we needed to meet him on the bridge. So we went back to the bridge, and that's when I was like, oh, we're having our cool bridge moment now with our character. Gosh. So I'm like, that was the good guy's character bridge.
Oh, that is so freaking cool.
There was a smuggler's character bridge. There was a bad guy's character bridge.
That's awesome.
And I didn't know that.
Did you guys shoot X-Wings?
So you can't kill people. Come on, unless they're bad people. So we didn't kill any good people. But it was still really fun. It was still one of the highlights of the mission, of the whole trip, I mean.
Really?
So the good guys get to shoot bad people, but bad guys, we don't get to shoot good people. But that's okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't get to kill people, but that's okay.
The First Order's not good guys, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a bad guy, you don't get to shoot good guys. But if you're a Resistance member, it's okay to shoot bad guys. Except Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular when Indy can't shoot Nazis. I don't understand this logic, but it's okay.
You should be wanting to get rid of all those guys.
Yeah. But this was the moment where, like, the lieutenant had been calling Taylor and I by name a lot. Our character names, too, not Evan and Taylor.
No kidding.
He was using our character names.
What was her name?
Because that's what we told him. We told him Yvonne and Taylor.
Taylor.
So we told him that, and he remembered them throughout the voyage, and he used them, and he used it. He shouted me out here in the bridge thing with him, the bridge experience, and like he would come up to us and like pat us on the back or like put his hand on our shoulder and like talk to us and like say, hey, make sure to shoot that thing, or well done blasting that. Like stuff like that. And yeah, he was definitely one of the highlights.
That is so badass, man.
So after that, like, our trip was basically done. We just had the finale left. And I can tell you some about the finale without spoilers, because we all know what the finale is going to be. Like, you know, it's a big showdown.
Between Rey and Kylo Ren.
Rey and Kylo Ren.
Just don't know how they get on the ship and like what happens.
I'm not going to tell you why or how they're on the ship, how long they're on the ship. The experience, the finale is about 20 minutes.
Damn, for real?
Like, it's a long show. It doesn't feel like it, though. It moves at a clip. Things happen all around you, and there's like cinematic reveals. Especially because I didn't follow the other sides. When I see what the smugglers did, I was like, you guys did that? How did you get that? Or when I saw the Resistance, I'm like, where did you get this thing? How long have you had that? Like, what did you do to get that?
That is so
and
interesting they're able to do this.
They all tie into the characters that are having the finale above you, and there's characters down with you, too. The show is above and with you, too. Like, so it's not all, oh, they're obviously up there and we can't be a part of it. Like, it still feels like you're part of it, because there are characters with you. And some of it's a little scary too. Is like things that there's blasters involved. You know, it's like because in the moment you're like, that's a gun. You know, it's not, but like it's a gun. Like there's some scary stuff.
Is this before or after dinner?
Oh, I skipped the last dinner. Yeah, this is after.
Okay, so finish this and then we'll go back to dinner.
Yeah, so I mean,
can't really say much about this.
I can say there's so much going on. When Rey does show up, I missed 90% of the lightsaber activation.
Dude.
I looked by the time it was like almost all the way up. I was like, whoa, wait.
Oh.
So as soon as Rey enters the room, don't take your eyes off her.
Okay.
Because I did for a second to see what else was going on, and I look back and I'm like, oh, we're turning our saber on already. Thanks. There was no build up. You're just okay. So watch Rey as soon as she walks in. Don't take your eyes off her. I will say, we all know that she has to swap her lightsaber because you can't use that to fight. That swap is awful. It's so awful. I don't know why they just didn't have her like jog behind a wall, and as she's jogging by, grab the other one. And it's seamless, but it's bad. It's bad. The finale is awesome as a whole, but there's like 5 things in it that are horrible that need to be cut or changed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Horrible.
All right, this is unusual for the show, but we're stopping right here because this is the end of part 1. We literally sat here for 4 hours and did a straight-up 4-hour podcast about this, and so we decided to just break it up into 2 episodes to make it a little more manageable for everybody. But this is the end of part 1, and I actually think part 2 is even more interesting than part 1 because we really dig deep into some day 2 and day 3 stuff and some logistics of how it all runs. So this is the end of episode 1 of 2 of Evan's review of the Halcyon. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you. Rise, Jedi Knight! Sorry, Tom.